Sports Center.
Tough news coming from the San Antonio Spurs as Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich is not expected to return this season. His NBA future is uncertain as he recovers from a stroke suffered in November. University of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, considered to be one of the top 2 players at that position, will not work out at the scouting combine in Indianapolis this week. Sources confirmed to ESPN over the weekend. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Everybody, you gotta keep the people waiting sometimes, Rob.
But see, I have to adjust my mic, my headset, so I have to keep it down until you do your thing, and then I bring myself up so I'm not deaf.
Good morning, everyone.
There you go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
I wasn't trying to. Notice I was silent. I was just waiting.
I know, but you were doing like what my wife does, where you like.
That's not what I meant.
Like doing the thing with your wrist, like
carry on, go ahead, and go on.
The stupid thing you're about to do, get it over with.
Yada yada yada. Yeah.
You know,
that's not what I meant.
You know, when you do something stupid all the time, just do it so I can be mad at you we'll forget it.
This was more of a silent announce and cue the intro is what I was doing. Because when you're not, it's like I'm in a box of silence. It's because my ear.
Oh,
I have they're noise canceling earbuds.
Yeah, and you don't like when
I can't hear anything. So I turn my headset way down so it goes like I'm silence and I'm just waiting for you to do your thing and then I bring myself up so I'm not deaf.
Okay. So if I hit you with a surprise good morning, it hurts.
Then, see, I have to keep my hand on the
keep your hand on the button
just in case because
I'm gonna catch you slipping one of these
days. Red line on my Alpine equalizer.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Sounds like someone's got a case of the Mondays.
Hey, man, after yesterday's blue skies, I think everybody's feeling kind of good today.
It was a nice day yesterday. We were due. I didn't bring a jacket today. I didn't even wear a hoodie or anything. I just walked outside wearing a shirt.
I had to go get my car, so I had a jacket because it was going to be a little bit of a walk. But no, it wasn't required. Although it was in the 30s. It's not like it was warm.
Where I was, it was like 43 this morning.
I think it was 38 or 39.
Which is like pretty warm for what it's been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert. We'll probably get 1 or 2 cold mornings, one or 2 frosty, little bit of stuff on the leaves, but I think we're done.
I think so too.
That's about it.
I think that Friday, Saturday run, whatever it was, that was the end of it.
And good riddance too.
Yeah, beat it, winter.
Beat it.
Now we get to await the most wonderful time of the year where it's 99 and 70%.
But there's
humidity.
A lot of dudes just like me who yesterday afternoon about 3 o'clock after their nap and everything walked out back and looked around their backyard and went, oh, crap, it's spring. I got work to do.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do that.
I did.
I looked around and said, oh, the maintenance people around here need to get to work.
That's what my wife said.
Yeah.
That maintenance man's slacking.
We had ourselves an adventurous weekend.
Yeah, we had a good one.
We went up to Austin, Texas to watch the Spurs play on Friday.
Far from the highlight of the day. Probably third.
Yeah, probably so.
The Moody Center's nice.
The Moody Center is an awesome venue. It's not big enough to host NBA regularly.
I'm not worried about that. Not anymore.
But it's a beautiful venue, and it's great. It's the perfect size for college basketball.
Perfect. You're right on. There's not a bad seat in the house. Man.
There isn't, and really, they kudos to the University of Texas, who's done a really good job. Everything is world class in that place. It's a very, very beautiful building. The Spurs, however, had a far from world class performance. That was one of the weirdest games ever because Rob and
Welcome to fandom.
Rob and I are sitting there watching this game, and in the first quarter, for about the first 10 to 12 minutes against the Pistons, it looked like the Pistons were the Harlem Globetrotters.
They couldn't miss, man.
Everything was a steal, and then everything was an alley-oop dunk. Yeah, it's almost impossible to miss from 2 inches from the rim. That's where they lived all first quarter, and I was like, oh my God, the Spurs are going to lose this game by 1,000,000 points. And then the tides turned.
For 14 minutes, the Spurs were the best team in Austin.
They were. And the Spurs took control of the game. They even took almost a
17 points on them.
They had a pretty good lead. Then they blew that lead
Quickly.
And they were down 1 point at halftime. But you know what I said? After the start that they had, to be down 1 at halftime, I was like, that's pretty good. I felt pretty solid about it.
And then they ordered, I don't know, tacos from someplace over halftime.
I'm not sure what happened at halftime. I think
it's some barbecue from La Barbecue is what they did. Shipped in some brisket.
I think somebody went in and told them, hey, y'all better not win this game.
Well,
right?
Normally they do this
Somebody
later
from
in
the
the
mob
fourth.
came in. Somebody from the mob came in and
honestly,
said, hey.
But I would have said, my God, what did you say at halftime? Did we discuss some kind of funeral arrangement? Because they were done. They showed up. They didn't even show up in the second half. But then they did it again last night. Same thing.
It was
literally
the same thing.
Like, what's going on?
Aren't they taking
If you're sucking on orange slices, don't use those.
Yeah.
It's sapping your strength. Change the music. Do something. Although, they do understand the assignment. I mean, it's hard for me to be too upset.
Agreed. But it's like there was a and again, I hardly actually watched the first half, unfortunately, because apparently the first half the Spurs looked pretty good.
No, they looked okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't say pretty good is not in the realm right now, but certain guys did. Keldon looked good.
Well,
Bismack looked good.
Then they just were gone, and never to be seen again.
Bassie hurt his knee in the second half. I do think that he was effective. Mamu had, I guess, played his requisite amount of minutes for the week because he didn't even play after he got a fair amount in Austin. They're understanding the assignment. It's just not quite as nuanced as Pop was capable of making it. Mitch, I guess, is just throwing all the chess pieces off the board, where Pop would strategize for 12 or 14 minutes and then pull the plug. And he was, such a wizard at that he can get away with that without people noticing it. And Mitch is new at this, so he just tanks it right out of the gate.
At the 9:44 mark of the third quarter, the Spurs had a 64-47 lead, and they did not score again until there were under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They went 5 full minutes with 0 points, and by that time it was 64-60.
And it showed. Well, let's also look at what we know to be the problem. At least it was made very obvious to anybody who watches the Spurs that, yes, we know that Wemby's going to leave a lot of holes a lot of places. But what he was lacking when he was playing was the presence that Jalen Duren offered.
Yeah.
Jalen Duren was the difference in the game. Dominated the paint in every facet. And knowing exactly what the Spurs needed, it couldn't have been more apparent that the Spurs do not currently have anybody on the roster, new or old, young, whatever, that is capable of playing against a kid like that.
Yeah, I looked over at Rob at one point during the third quarter, and I said, we're about 4.5 minutes of game clock in, and the Spurs have the same amount of points they had at halftime. Like, this is alarming. This is not good. They should score a basket.
And let's not take away, Detroit's hot. I mean, they're feeling themselves. 5-6 straight games? They rolled into Atlanta and took them down too. So at least, that's a team that's playing pretty well. And Cade Cunningham is 2 years away from being a legitimate All-NBA player.
Yeah.
And played that way. He was so much better than everybody but De'Aaron Fox on the court that night. I mean, there was him and De'Aaron, and everybody else is just kind of there playing. Jalen Duren was a credit to not, playing big man with Mouse behind him.
Yeah.
The worst thing he ever had to deal with was Jeremy Sohan, who, while playing adequate wing defense, is not even near capable of dealing in the paint with a guy like that. So at least we saw what the Spurs need. It was very apparent. Need a dude that looks just like that or at least can defend that on a fairly regular basis, and we don't got that.
No. This is an alarming number. Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, and Tobias Harris combined to go 28 of 39 from the field in that game. It was just like whatever they tried worked. And there was just, I don't know. I kept thinking there was going to be someone. We should give credit because Keldon played a hell of a game too.
Yeah, he hustled. He busted his ass.
He was the one guy outside of De'Aaron Fox who felt like he should have been on the floor. And you know what? I'll go one step further. Mamu had some minutes where it was like he was busting his ass.
I don't know what is going on.
I don't know where it came from, but
no, when he plays, I think he's relatively effective. But whatever that one sin is, whatever that one thing is that he keeps doing, he does it, and as soon as he does it, man, you're in the hole. It's like going to the shoe.
Yeah.
You got to go spend time in a graveyard for 2 games, and then maybe we'll let you out, and then he does it again, whatever that is.
But Chris Paul was dreadful. Devin Vassell was dreadful. Steph Castle was hardly even on the floor, and when he was, he wasn't good.
Steph's hit a wall, man. He looks really tired. That All-Star game took a lot out of him.
Yeah, it was a rough day for the Spurs on Friday,
and Sunday. It
didn't get much
carried
better.
over. Yesterday was no joy.
Did not get much better, but I guess that's like you said. They know the assignment now.
They understand. They're just not quite as nuanced as we had 3 years of this. We had a couple years of understanding the assignment.
They came out after the break. They won that Suns game, and I was like, oh, okay. And then since then, it's been about what we should have expected.
Yes, this is bad, and it's going to get worse.
And the Spurs still have an 11-game lead on the Pelicans for last place in the Southwest. So we'll see what happens on Tuesday if the Spurs can give up any more ground to the Pelicans the way that they should. But the weird thing is, and I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that it is this, but it looks like this. It does look like they're being told at halftime, all right, you guys competed for a while. Now let's do what we're supposed to do.
Well, it's easy to say that. These guys got to make a living at this. I expected every one of those dudes to go play like Keldon. It's just the problem is, as coach, I'm going to put you playing with guys that don't quite get the way you're going to play, and you don't quite get the way they're going to play. Y'all are going to play real hard, but you're going to get beat pretty bad because nobody plays pretty well together.
Yeah.
And that's the expertise of great coaching. One little fly in the ointment can throw this whole thing off, and nobody can really see the difference but you know? And last night, as a rookie coach, everybody can see it. I mean, you can just see that whatever you're doing in the third quarter is on purpose. This is intentional. You can't come out 2 consecutive games and look this freaking bad unless you're like, you know what? Whatever
there's some sort of effort.
This lineup that you're throwing out there, you can tell. Somebody on the bench goes, you put these 2 together. Wait till you see what happens with these guys out here. Legit, and I think there's 4 guys sitting going, yeah, here's our lineup.
Yeah.
And we'll hamstrung in. We'll go down by about 12, 14 points. And then we'll put our bomb squad in. And our best lineup, by the way, is our second lineup. Look at where our second lineup is. It's not the Chris Paul lineup. It's the next lineup. That was the most effective lineup on, and it's changed. It's not the same second lineup that we saw in New Orleans, but it's the same idea. The cold dude comes out and somebody else comes in, whether that's Castle coming in or it's Keldon coming in. Those 5 are the hot 5. And once you see that, if you don't see that hot 5 starting the third quarter, bump, it's tank.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. They're going to have their fun and do their things and improve themselves at the end of the first, into the second quarter. And for the last 2 games, that's worked. Those guys have been pretty effective. But if you don't start those same dudes in the third, which is what you do if you were trying to win, then it's all about improvement. It ain't about W. And so it's not nuanced, but it's kind of what we want.
We'll talk plenty of Spurs today. We got a lot to get into. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like our first accident of the early morning. 1604 northbound approaching Calabria. Got a wreck right lane. 1604 eastbound at Heatner, that stall has just cleared. And this stall at 35 northbound O'Connor now off to the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs, and just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation on your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, Jason Minix will be back, and we'll start looking at Indianapolis in the NFL Combine. That should be fascinating. Stephen Jones headed out there. We'll get some comments from him, that's for sure. And we'll react to the Spurs. How are they doing post-Wemby? The Blitz, Monday, starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Computer froze. No music.
Oh.
Wow.
Boom, and that happened.
And it's Monday.
We'll do it live.
It's Monday. Gotta get.
Yeah. Monday.
Oh, God.
We can if the music ever goes out, just hit.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's right. That was at the Spurs game.
Who did our national? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I don't think
it was like a choir of kids.
Oh,
remember?
yeah, that's right. They weren't bad.
Like some singing group.
You know, I will say this, Spurs fans who, are accustomed, the Austin types, they get the Spurs game light. They don't get the whole shebang-a-bang. See, in San Antonio, We do the game, and at halftime, Whataburger's giving away stuff.
Oh,
and
people are becoming hamburgers.
And HEB is giving away stuff, and we got all that going on. And Austin looks like what we were doing before Wemby, when there'd be a break and, all right, the Gus Garcia Glee Club. And then next to the FFA from O'Connor High School showing off their goats. I mean, that's kind of what the Spurs looked like back when we didn't. Yeah. That's what Austin got. They didn't get the giveaway stuff.
No, they didn't. They didn't get the full shebang.
No, they didn't get the Red Panda NBA stuff, the slam dunk stuff.
No, they didn't.
So they just got the local Glee Club and Latin Club.
They didn't get any trampoline dunks from the Coyote.
See, they don't get all that. So I don't feel so bad about the product that Austin's getting, because they're not getting the full shebang-a-bang. They're getting the light version.
You know what they do? And this was embarrassing for me because Rob, every time they would do this, so what they do in Austin to make the crowd boo during free throws is they show that Aggie dog.
That Aggie dog. You will say her name with reverence. That's Reveille.
When they show that Reveille dog, everybody boos, and Rob starts making that Aggie noise.
I'm whooping.
Oh, whoop! Yes, and he does it every time he does it, and people are like looking at him like, "What the hell?
What's wrong with him?"
I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go sit with Mario Ellie."
Ellie was sitting right in front of us. I don't think he heard me whooping, but
no, I don't think he was paying
every
attention.
free throw they either showed the OU logo or Reveille.
Yeah,
I found that rather fun.
Yes. I
didn't know we lived in your heads like that.
Well, listen, man, it's I don't know whose head, Spurs fans' heads. That's who was there, a Spurs fan.
I guess.
I will say this. Was a lot more representation of Piston fan than I was expecting.
Yep.
Like for and also a good majority. So Rob and I went to a bar, the beer garden, the Schultz Beer Garden.
Everybody knows Schultz.
Right before, that's where we were right before the game, and that's like a good pregame
spot. It really is perfect.
You know, it's right by the arena, and there were several Spurs fans there. And everyone that we asked had made the trip up from San Antonio.
Yep.
So I don't know how many Austin types were actually there. I'm sure there were some, but
I got the sense there were a fair amount.
And the building was full. The building was packed. And you know what? Considering the way the game went, it stayed packed.
Which told me these were Austin types.
Yeah, because or there are people who had either gotten a hotel or you know whatever.
Well, there was nothing. There was
no
reason
for the long haul.
Yeah, there was no reason to be there with 8 minutes to go in the game.
If we were at the Frost Center, I mean, this place would have been emptied out at the end of the third quarter. So kudos to the fans that went up there and whoever was there and stayed for the full game, because most people did. But I'm not sure, and I think that whoever's making these decisions on, San Antonio, Austin, I'm pretty sure they are aware that there are more fans here and will always probably be more fans here than there are in Austin. But I don't know that there's enough. Like, I don't think Austin could sustain an NBA team by themselves.
No, not yet. No. The professional franchise in Austin is still UT.
Yeah.
And will always be that. So, and I'm not worried and have not ever been worried about losing the team to Austin. My concern is that enough of the Austin fans are growing in numbers to where a stadium in San Marcos was the worry. And I still think once this current Project Marvel lives its life in 20 years, we'll be talking about San Marcos. I do think that the day will come when the metroplex that San Antonio to Austin is becoming, where Austin makes sense, much like Arlington made sense for the Rangers and the Cowboys.
The drive from San Marcos to San Antonio isn't
dude. We made it on whether it was legal or not. We made it from downtown Austin back to San Antonio in right about an hour, and it's taken me nearly an hour to get out of the Frost Center and get home too.
Yep.
So I can bitch about it, and I do think. Well, I can get even deeper into this because I do think it would be the anchor for the light rail that this area would need. So I think there'd be train service coming and going in 20 years to where the egress from San Marcos to downtown San Antonio would be 35 minutes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's so far down the road. But what going to Austin on Friday did show me was, yes, there's enough fandom to justify being there, but I can tell by the Spurs' attitude about being there is they know there's never a future. They're never going to be in downtown Austin. That's never going to be what happens.
What did it tell you about barbecue?
We ate at I'm on record. The best, I judge barbecue joints by their brisket, by their smoke, and by the grind in their sausage. And I ate the best sausage I've ever had.
Wow.
That's the best sausage I've ever eaten at any point, anywhere in my life. And might have been their best day, might have been the worst day. But the original sausage at La Barbecue is the best sausage I've ever eaten.
Okay. Well, it was a big win.
Boy, that was the day.
When we walked up, the sold-out sign said beef ribs only, and we were like, okay, no worries. We're not getting a beef rib anyway.
Get beef ribs anyway. And so we got everything we wanted. And what was the other sausage, which was spectacular?
The Chipotle sausage.
Chipotle.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite sausage in the world is their Chipotle
they're
sausage.
OG. They OG. They chose the best recipe to start with, in my mind, because that was perfect fat content, grind not too fine. They didn't emulsify the I mean, you just can't make sausage better than that. Yeah. Snap on the bite. I mean, just better than better.
Yeah, the one thing we've got to get here in San Antonio is we've got to up our barbecue game here.
We're working on it. I mean,
and we've got a couple places. A couple places that are in the fight.
We ate at a Michelin-starred restaurant.
I know.
I mean, that you just don't get that in any realm, any sector of food, but rare in your life.
Right.
So I'm not going to judge most barbecue against what we had because that is just another level. That's watching Michael Jordan play as opposed to watching your regular NBA.
But I will say I'm only doing this because when I moved to Houston, I bitched about barbecue. And over the time from when I got to Houston in 2010 to when I left, like, I don't know.
We're growing.
7 or 8 world-class barbecue places had opened up there. So I'm willing it into existence that happens here.
There's a reason why it's working in Austin and in Houston because of the diversity. Because La Barbecue is done by one type of chef, and then Franklin's is done by a very different one, and they share, and they're less than a mile apart. San Antonio, we've got a unique type of barbecue, but I don't think we're ever going to be the crossroads of barbecue like Austin and Houston are. We'll be the beneficiary, the spillover, but we're not going to
I'll take some spillover.
Yeah,
Give me some
and we're
spillover,
getting there. There are probably 4
Give
here.
me a little spillover, no big deal.
That I would put against anybody in Texas, knowing full well they probably would not beat them, but they would equal.
I said that 2M is damn good.
Yeah, 2M's outstanding. There's a couple around town. I don't want to not mention some of my friends, but there's a couple that I would. But yes. It's not Snow's, and it's not those. But I don't think we'll ever have the ability to support a place like that.
I think we could.
I hope. I do. I hope.
Now, the problem is there's people who don't like some of these old school there's some old school barbecue in San Antonio, and some of these old school barbecue places realize that their clientele does not want prime brisket. Well, or they would like prime brisket, but they ain't paying prime brisket prices. Oh, no. So they're going to – and – if you're not serving the best meat, you can't make the best product, obviously.
And we understand. I'm not going to denigrate San Antonio's barbecue scene. It is exactly what they can be. But we don't have the culture that's going to go stand in line for Q. We'd rather go sit and eat some great enchiladas.
I stood in line for tamales here. So
you know what I mean? So we got other stuff that we do better than others.
Yes.
And we focus on that. And, we live on the barbecue. We love it. But given our druthers, and it's lunchtime – Austin types of use. I'll go stand in line and eat fast. Man, I'll go sit down in a warm restaurant.
To Bill Miller's.
Yeah, well, no. I just want to have barbecue. I'll just go get a great enchilada plate from my RMR around the corner that's better than anything you're going to find anywhere else in Austin.
No, that is true.
You know
also.
what I mean? So I do think it's stunted because we're good at other things.
That's possible. That is possible. Yeah, I used to laugh at Austin when I lived in Austin, and people said they had the best breakfast tacos in the world. I was like, come on.
You think they're good. And you're adding some crazy stuff. I get it, but you ain't there.
Yeah, I mean they're good, but they're not. Come on, come on, friend.
And that's kind of our barbecue. It's good, but come on. There's no barbecue here.
I want it to be here.
Let me tell you, I'd have them just truck me down about 10 of those links every Monday.
It's hard to beat, man. It is hard to beat. We ate like kings that day. I'll tell you that.
And the sad thing is, when you go and you want to sample everything. I know that that green sauce mac and cheese, I don't know what
is that green chili mac, yeah,
was probably extraordinary.
Oh, it was amazing.
But everything else was so rich that by the time I was eating that, I just couldn't taste it the way I should have tasted it,
Yeah.
So you need to go back 2 or 3 times to sample the things in order. And I would say this. I think we got there a little late for the pork ribs. The pork had a great flavor. It's just a little soft,
Yeah.
It was 3 o'clock rib. They probably put those things on 12 hours before, so I get it. Won't blame them for it, but it wasn't their best effort with ribs.
I would have just I could have had a full plate of brisket and sausage and left everything else off, and I would have been a happy man.
And their sauce, the best way I can describe their sauce is delicate. They're not in business with their sauce.
No.
It's a good sauce, but you don't need it.
It's very optional.
Yeah.
I only used it on the turkey.
Just to try it. That's the only reason I put it on the turkey was just to try it.
We had some turkey,
was great too.
The brisket needed no sauce. The sausage certainly needed no sauce. Yeah, nice. It was good. Good day. Good day. Friends.
Highly recommend.
All right. When we come back, we'll continue some Spurs talk. We got to talk about Matthew Stafford at some point today. This is an interesting situation that the Rams
He's going to be a Viking, man.
I don't know that I fully understand what's going on. It's like they're saying, well, we want you. We just want to see what you're worth so we can know what to pay you. That doesn't make sense to me. I've never heard of such a thing.
Call me last. I get it, but that's not what they really said.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about there is a huge college basketball game for the national landscape, but just happens to take place in our great state tonight. So we'll talk about that as well. Plenty to discuss. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like our first accident of the early morning. 1604 northbound approaching Culebra. Got a wreck right lane. 1604 eastbound at Heatner. That stall has just cleared. And this stall at 35 northbound O'Connor now all to the right shoulder. Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. I feel comfortable Wemby's going to get a couple of blocks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Ever feel like everything in life is moving at hyperspeed? Slow things down with the all-new Nissan Murano, an unapologetic refuge amidst the daily hustle and bustle. Re-energize with massaging leather-appointed seats to melt away the tension of a busy day. Escape into your favorite music with a Bose premium sound system, or set the vibe with ambient mood lighting. Because sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Check out the all-new Nissan Murano at NissanUSA.com. Panoramic moonroof, ambient lighting, and massaging leather-appointed seats are optional features.
Guys, this is AJ. If you're feeling kind of tired or low on energy, do what I did. Check out Game Day Men's Health on Bassey Road. You'll get a personalized plan that starts with a free testosterone test. Call 210-900-3691. That's Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now he can't do this. He can't jump around like he used to. Aren't they on tour right now? Is Fred bouncing around?
No,
right
this
now?
is Disturbed.
With them? Isn't Disturbed like?
I don't know. I know Limp Bizkit is touring,
but I think Disturbed is too.
I'm
maybe
pretty sure
together.
they are. We heard Disturbed is touring on. That's how I drive so fast. The music I listen to makes you drive fast.
That's right. We were listening to the.
How long did it take you? What was the time?
We did 60 minutes. Well, 50 minutes from downtown to.
What?
Yeah,
Stone Oak, where I live.
Legit, man. Legit. I got back to San Antonio younger.
I was gonna say.
I don't know how.
One of the funniest moments.
Teleported.
When we were in Oxnard, I drove our rental van.
Our Pacifica.
Yeah, it's the first and only time I got asked to drive that trip.
Okay. And our suit was in the third row.
Yeah, our big boss was in the back row, and he's talking, and I'm driving, and I'm.
What, was he freaking out?
At one point, he's like, hey, how fast are we going?
How fast are we going?
He's like,
fast enough.
With like fear in his voice, are we gonna die?
And in his defense, we were doing about 90 on the 5. I mean, we were flying down the 5, trying to make in a minivan in LA traffic about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I was trying to get there before the LA traffic.
There wasn't quite traffic, but there was enough to play Frogger. So we're playing Frogger at about 90. He's executing the moves. But in the rear, behind the wheel, behind that back wheel where you catch all the momentum, he was throwing those dudes around like just groceries. They were just like cans of tomatoes rolling from one side to the other. How fast are we going?
Hey, do you want me to drive?
Woo! And I'm not gonna lie, every now and then I use my brake pedal. Every now and then I was braking for you. So, but together we were doing all right.
That's right. Nice. That's right. As long as one of us is using the brake pedal.
Don't worry.
Yeah. It's not working.
Mine seems to be. No, we're good. How fast are we going?
Oh. Hey, how exactly fast are we?
We made it. We made it.
We survived. We survived.
Although we missed. Who was the Cougar Mellencamp?
Yeah, John Cougar Mellencamp. We missed we
heard him
saw
singing.
the last 2 songs.
But that was when we were heading up the escalator.
Yeah, that's why I was hurrying. I wanted to see Cougs.
The Cougs.
Yeah,
houses.
I missed it, man. And I'll never forgive Dax for making me miss that.
We could have made it.
Yeah.
No, we heard it. We just didn't.
Right, but I wanted to see. I wanted to see his face. I wanted to
experience.
Yeah, I wanted to feel the moment.
We really wanted to have that whole Cougar experience.
I wanted to feel the moment, and we've got concerts this weekend. Rob and I got concerts on Friday and Saturday.
We're partiers.
We're going to Gary Clark Jr. on Friday. Where's that show at?
I think it's at the Aztec.
Okay. Aztec or Majestic one.
Yeah, that's either venue will be great.
And then Saturday we're going to see a U2 cover band.
Blood Red Sky.
Ugh. I don't know how I got
In the name of love. See, I can do that too.
I already kind of regret agreeing to go to this thing. And
wait till you see what I'm wearing.
Oh no. What are you gonna? You're going with your wife, right?
I'm coming Bono circa 85.
You're going to be with your wife, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, she's not going to let you
She's
wear
gonna
anything
come
too
in
ridiculous.
as Mrs. Bono
she
at
won't.
85.
The Edge? Is that?
She's going to come dressed as the Edge. Yeah.
Is this Gary Clark? Who is this?
What?
Vic just whispered. He just mouthed U2 to me like he's like, yeah, idiot. It's U2. I know.
The big city meet.
Oh, I can't wait to see Rob jamming out to this. That's really the only reason I'm going.
Like a little girl.
I am. I'm gonna fangirl.
Rob's gonna take his boobies out.
I'm gonna throw a scarf up and hope they throw me some sweat.
Rob's gonna hold Kelly up on his shoulders and make her flash.
Oh yeah.
Fake Bono, Buno.
It's Bueno. Bueno and the Ish. It's the Ish.
Ish.
It's the Ish.
Bueno and Ish.
Bueno, Ish, and Paco.
Oh boy, what a time that's gonna be. Your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders already coming out saying, I'm not going to work out.
Yeah, what's up with
Let me tell you something. My daddy raised me with a lot of different sayings, and he stole most of them from smarter men than most we know.
Or movies?
There's one that I've carried on to my sons. It is better to be thought a fool than speak and prove it.
Okay, that's a good one.
So Shedeur Sanders, what on earth does Shedeur Sanders have to gain by anybody seeing him throw? There's only thing that could happen to Shedeur Sanders throwing. Well, there's two things. One is to confirm what is believed, and that could be either great or awful. Or two, it could absolutely ruin you. One or the other.
Oh, yeah.
You're a one or a two. Either it's going to be you or Cam Ward, and if you do absolutely nothing from here on out, you're a top 10 pick.
Yes.
So what on earth is in it for you to go throw in front of anybody?
Shedeur Sanders led the country with a 74% completion rate. That seems good. Was the Big 12 leader in passing yards, touchdowns, completions, attempts, yards per game. You're right. Like there's no way to screw anything up. I guess the only thing is if you want to be the first pick, maybe.
Yeah, that's a worthy aspiration.
Although the last 3 years, last year, the top 3 picks, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, the top 3 quarterbacks that went, not one of them threw at the combine.
Because they knew the same thing that Shedeur knows, and so does Cam. There is nothing that can happen here that can help. Nothing. Now, you can go interview. I want you to stand there. I want you to look good. In fact, before you walk out of the crowd, I want you to do about 50 push-ups and sit-ups. I want you to get a little yoked before you walk out and do your interviews. I want you to look like the dude but you ain't going to go out there and prove anything. Next time anybody sees you throw will be in the jersey for which you have just signed that $50 million, so whatever signing bonus you're going to get. So that's
you're not even going to do individual workouts?
No, I'm going to do individual workouts for those 5 that are going to draft, but that's the only time, and it's only going to be for them. I'm not going to allow one bad day to ruin my chances with every team.
I agree with that. And I will say, like, it's getting to the point where guys are going to be like, hey, I'm not even doing individual workouts. You can check my tape. The first time a guy does that, I'm saying, all right, man, you're off my board.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that.
I don't want you. Like, we're asking me to make a massive investment in you. I get you've got this tape. I want to see if you can do the things I ask you to do.
Right. That's the extent of where we are now.
But we have gotten to where, if you're a top-level guy, you can just say, no, I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to throw.
Because now they have even one more option in that I'll just go back to school.
Well, I think I should. I mean, can Shedeur go back to school?
Well, it depends on whether they've hired agents or not. But, I mean, there is the option if everything goes south, I can still go back and make $5 million, if I don't buy the agent and do all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to do anything to hurt my value. Now, there's some dudes that need to go work out. I'm not saying this is the right strategy for everybody.
Sure.
There's some dudes that need to go throw. Quinn, you're going to have to go throw, man.
Oh, yeah.
You better look good doing it. And I expect that he will. But he has to throw. Shedeur and Cam, they don't have to throw. Neither did Jaden, and neither did – I mean, if you're the dude, don't disprove it. Let somebody else make up something.
Well, and that seems to be the case. I mean, it seems that those two guys are the lock first-rounders. Anybody else is a maybe. If you're a maybe, I mean, because I've heard Quinn Ewers from first pick of the second round to fourth round. And it's like, okay, you've got some people to win over. If you think that you should be a first-round pick and you're not being talked about as a first-round pick, you want to earn it, go earn it.
Then you will have every bit of spotlight. It's good. This is a good thing for most of the quarterbacks.
I tend to think so. But, yeah, you're right. There's not much reason for –
like Milroe. Milroe got to go throw.
He needs to throw.
Get out there, and I want to see you move. And, you don't have to have a great day, but you got to prove what I expect to be true and fix something that I might think might not be true.
You know who
do that?
You know who's going to have to throw? The guy who I've seen, like, his name pop up in first-round conversations, Jackson Dart.
Oh, yes, him, Gabriel, all those guys going to have to throw.
Yeah, just not Cam Ward, not Shedeur Sanders. Seems like they're in a comfortable spot. So, I will say, though, there is something to – I like guys who want to compete at everything.
I agree. I agree.
I understand these guys are making decisions that are, like, multi-million-dollar decisions. But I also, I mean, this is just me, and I'm not an NFL scout or a GM or a decision maker. I mean, but even when I was picking kids for baseball, like, I could tell a kid had a bad day at tryouts. Like, you could still kind of tell if they've got something or not.
Oh, yeah,
you know
no
what
doubt.
I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not like you're going to throw a kid out just because he has one bad day.
But the nuance for this is millions of dollars.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? The nuance is such that there is no reason to ever plant even a seed of doubt.
Yeah.
Even a slight. And there's no need for you to need to disprove anything if you're already in the conversation to be there. Let them talk themselves out of it. Don't give them a reason.
And at this point, I don't know that I don't know that Shedeur could close the gap between him and Cam Ward. From everything I've read, it seems like Cam Ward is just a given as the top quarterback that's going to go in this draft.
Probably.
It's more of a discussion, is Cam Ward going to be the first pick or not the first pick, and less about who's going to be the first quarterback.
I'm adamant about a lot of this stuff. And you talk about guys that you want to compete. I might not be opposed to having, as his agent, having him do some of the physical stuff.
Like having him do,
show that you can run and jump,
cone drills,
whatever the other the physical things, the high jump and the 40 and the whatever mobility drills or whatever they have for the quarterbacks. I'd do that. I'm not going to have him running out there throwing and doing something that might.
See, what's funny is, to me, like, running your 40 and all that stuff. That's you need to work with, like, a track coach. You need to be prepared for that. Most of these quarterbacks, you say, hey, go out, throw this route. It's second nature to them.
I agree. Yeah,
like, I would much rather show off the thing that I'm the best at than try and, like, bust my ass to be good at something that I've got to do just one time and say, look how fast I am. You know what I mean?
And that's another reason why I'd let my kid go. I'd let him act like, man, he just won't let me. I really want to do this. And, I want to show that you are competitive. But I think we all know that this is all about the dollars you put in the bank. And we want you to make as much money as you can in the limited amount of time that you have. So why do anything to screw up any of it?
But it doesn't turn you off that a guy who doesn't want to.
It did for a while, but I get the economics of it. I do. When we're talking about the millions, and it's my job as the scout, as the whoever it is, to do my due diligence. And if I think I'm going to be in a position to draft you, hell yeah, you're going to come in and you're going to work out for me eventually. Yeah, I'm not going to draft you unless I see you do the things that I expect you to be able to do. So at some point, I'm going to be standing with a clipboard and a stopwatch, watching you do the things to do. It just might not be with a bunch of other dudes with me.
How much do you think this plays into, like, because we know that Dion probably has places that he'd like his son to be and places that he doesn't want them to be. Do you think if Dion really wanted his son in Tennessee or Cleveland that he would he'd push for him to go throw?
I don't know. That's a good point. The line between father, coach, mentor, all of that is so blurry there. I can see being a dad and trying to maneuver him one way or another. I expect the Mannings are going to do it.
I'll be honest. It feels like right now it's almost better to be the second pick than the first, or the second quarterback than the first quarterback, especially if Tennessee takes Abdul Carter, which I've seen more and more that they are willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, and Myles Garrett's gone, then I'm imagining the Browns will take Abdul Carter, and then then the next spot is the Giants. And
circumstance matters, man. I don't know how eager and excited I would be for him to land there. I know that they would be welcoming. I know that they would be desperate to have him. I'd be happy with that.
But just from a marketing standpoint, like being in New York would be huge. Being a Raider would be huge.
But the thing is, to land in New York as a rookie quarterback with the Sanders last name, that's a whole bunch to have to deal with. That might not be the best place for him as a rookie, though. No one's been more a part of the whole primeness, more than prime, than his son. So he might be uniquely prepared to go land in New York and do the things that'll be required. So it might be the perfect landing spot for him.
Could be. The latest mock draft, this one from Sam Farmer of the LA Times. Tennessee 1, Cam Ward. Cleveland 2, Abdul Carter. Giants 3, Travis Hunter. Patriots 4, Will Campbell. Jags 5, Mason Graham. 6, Vegas Raiders, Shedeur Sanders. There's worse things. There's worse places to end up than with Pete Carroll and those guys. Like
that draft makes a lot of sense. That order seems pretty cut and dry. Not cut and dry, but it's if every GM and all of these players live up to the hype and their grades post combine and everything match what we think of them, that looks like the draft to me.
Yeah,
it really does. That feels like that could be pretty chalk top 5.
I will say I would still take Abdul Carter over any of these quarterbacks.
I just keep I wonder as we get through this, and I have the sense that Travis Hunter's going to look pretty freaking spectacular this week.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? I think he's going to prove everybody's point who thinks he should go there.
I get it.
But I wonder as we get closer and closer to the draft that people will get in the silence of their own war rooms and go, what are we doing here? 2 and 2 does not equal 5 here. We don't have a great wide receiver and a great quarterback. We have 2 good things. And just because we have 2 good things doesn't mean we have one great. And I wonder if somebody at some point will go, the math doesn't add up here.
It just doesn't.
But if it doesn't, then I can see him going where they're talking about him going over a quarterback.
The amount of cornerbacks, and it seems now like most people are looking him as a cornerback. The amount of cornerbacks that go in the top 5 of the draft is like almost none. It almost never happens.
And if, the great ones, you can justify it. If he's really that good, I can see it. I mean, we're all chasing that lockdown side of the field. Who wouldn't? But, my gosh, is he really that good?
But in hindsight, like Jalen Ramsey went in the top 5 in hindsight. Was that
Well, for a brief shining moment, it was,
Brief shining moments. You don't, when you draft a guy in the top 5, you're not looking for a brief shining moment.
I can't project injuries and other stuff, but for a brief shining moment, he did live up to it, for a couple of teams. So, in the long run, a failure. But that's what when you're especially the Giants, who really are in a situation to where you know, you kind of got to get one right. It doesn't have to be gloriously right, but it's got to be kind of right.
Yeah.
And the idea of him is such a crapshoot. I just can't imagine them making the move with him. I'd rather get lesser and be much more sure of it than roll the dice. They just don't seem like a team that can afford to.
The Seattle Seahawks, the last team to draft a cornerback, top 5, they drafted Devin Witherspoon, number 5 overall, in 2023.
That guy's not employed anymore. That's right. He's someplace else.
Through 2 seasons, he has 1 interception through 2 seasons.
Carroll is now a...
All right, we'll talk some more hoop on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the
This
NFL.
report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
George gets justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit Rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a new trouble spot on the north side at 281 southbound, just past Bassey. That's a stall. Left lane is blocked as you stop and go from Jones-Maltzberger. On 1604 northbound, just past Calabria, this wreck in the right lane. This is our heaviest delay this early morning. Right lane blocked, 20-minute delay has you slow from Wiseman. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Tough news coming from the San Antonio Spurs as Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich is not expected to return this season. His NBA future is uncertain as he recovers from a stroke suffered in November. University of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, considered to be one of the top 2 players at that position, will not work out at the scouting combine in Indianapolis this week. Sources confirmed to ESPN over the weekend. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Second hour of the program. Ooh, they were fired up there in Cleveland.
Zach Edey, man.
I don't know if Zach Edey wants to fight with Evan Mobley.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in the vicinity.
No.
That's a couple of redwoods going at it.
It's like a King Kong and Godzilla fight.
Seriously, man. You get crushed underneath there.
Swinging haymakers, I bet. Yeah, Memphis likes to fight as a team, which I appreciate. Yeah. I wish that I liked that team more. I like a couple of their players, but it's like they're all scrappy. If you tell me there was an NBA fight last night, I'm like, yeah, it was Memphis. Cavs got the win, though, 129-123. In that other news,
who won the fight?
They broke it up. It was a basketball fight, Rob. Come on. Alex Ovechkin had a hat trick last night. He is 39 years old. He's got gray hair.
Tip my Geritol to him.
I mean, I think he's now maybe 13 goals, or was he 13 or 19 away from the all-time record?
We're running out of time. We're going to need a few more of these.
Oh, he's going to get it. They're
going to lay down for him. We're going to Brett Favre this for him.
I mean, he seems to have a way of doing it without needing help.
Well, we had a week where Braun got 40, and Ovechkin pulled a hat trick. Lunar pull, neap tides. It's good for us old men.
Yeah, he is at 39 years old. He is 7th in the league in goals scored this year. He's got 29 goals scored.
So how many more we need? We're breaking. How many thousands are we trying to break here?
Let me see what the. I want to make sure he's. Here's the latest update now. He has 29 goals right now in. I don't know how this is even possible. 29 goals. He needs 13 more with 25 games left.
Even for the best, that's tight.
That it, but I don't know that he's done necessarily.
So we're talking goals, not points, right?
Goals. Yeah. That's all that matters is goal. The points record will never be caught.
Yeah,
that's impossible. But although I say that, there are people who said the goals record could never be caught.
And the problem is he's already 40x. You know what I mean? Somebody will break that other run at some point, but Oves can't.
No one will ever break the all-time points record.
Why?
Because it's just impossible. Like the game doesn't allow for
the Gretzky.
Yeah, like it's.
I'm like Wilt. I mean, I don't expect to ever see a 100-point game. I guess it'll happen eventually. But
yeah, so let me see what the all-time points leaders, like how the gap.
Have they changed the way they quantify points over time?
No, but it is. So here, just to put it into perspective,
what is the total?
The total points for Wayne Gretzky is 2,857.
And that's the pass that led to the goal.
Goals and assists combined.
Right. So
the next closest guy ever had 1,921.
Oh, so he'd have to play another third of his career just to even come. And who was that?
And that was Jaromir Jagr. And Jaromir Jagr played 250 more games than Gretzky did. so he played three more seasons.
This is Wilt numbers. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's just impossible to catch.
Okay, I'm with you.
So and Ovechkin, like let's just say if there was a world where Alex Ovechkin or where Wayne Gretzky never scored a goal, if he never scored a goal in his life, he would have more points than Alex Ovechkin does right now.
Just off
his assists. Yeah.
All right, so
I mean, it's like it's one of those.
So what you're saying is
untouchable records.
That Gretzky guy was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like how many wins did Cy Young have? Like 500 or something like that. So it's like one of those types of things.
So when you're that guy, when they give you the literal stat is named after you,
yeah,
then you're pretty good.
You're gonna get that. So Ovechkin on the all-time list has 1,485 points, which is almost half of what Gretzky's got.
Ovechkin looks like he's played the last 10 years drunk.
He probably has.
He looks pretty worn out. Gretzky's still a good-looking man, 20 years done.
Ovechkin is, well, first of all, he's Russian.
So he came up hard.
I imagine life as a child wasn't easy. But, he looks grizzled is the right word for it.
He looks like a Bond villain. He looks like the guy that Spectre called in to go take care of Bond. That's actually a good take. In Morocco. Like, go take care of Bond.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Ovechkin looks like.
Yeah.
Just put him in a shiny Italian suit, and he's off to take care of Bond.
So I don't know if he's going to get the goals this year, but if it's not this year, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He is going to break that record. I don't know that if that's the record that will stand for all of time. There is no one who is active who is even in the top 25 in goals scored. So if it's not all time, it's going to stand for quite a while. So I think his goal is going to be to get 900 goals by the end of it. So he's at 853. So he started the season at 853. My guess is he gets to 900. He looks like an old man, right?
Over the last 3 years, it's been a rough couple of years playing for the Caps, man. He hadn't aged well.
Like if you saw a guy who looked like that show up at LA Fitness and get on the basketball court, you don't want to play with that guy.
No. You start seeing scars on his neck. You're like, dude, I'm not.
Oh my God. That's a real man. It's a real man. And you're right. He does. I mean, I bet he's drinking all the time. That's awesome. I love when guys can do that. Like when you're just.
They can still.
You're that much better than everybody that like.
He's been on the same.
You can handle it.
Yeah.
Everything he's done. One deep.
Yeah.
Respect.
Pretty incredible. The number of guys. I'm looking at that list of the top 25 goal scorers of all time, or the top 25 points guys of all time. So not just goal scorers, but he is one of 5 on the list that have played it all with one team. It's Steve Yzerman with the Red Wings. Mario Lemieux with the Penguins, Sidney Crosby with the Penguins, and Stanley Mikita, who
that's old school.
Old school.
Only reason
Chicago
I know who that cat
Blackhawks.
is from Wayne's World.
Yeah. Yep. Chicago Blackhawks. So pretty rare thing, man. Pretty rare thing and pretty cool to see. All right, back to I watched hockey this weekend. It's going to burn out for me. It's going to burn out for me. But the first game back for Vegas, I watched that game and I was like, oh yeah,
Nice.
the boys are back in town and they got to win. So I might watch until they lose, and then I'm going to be like, I'm not watching this for another week, couple weeks.
I'll be back in playoffs.
Yeah, I'll be back here.
See you in May.
Come playoff time, I'm back in the game. Okay, this I don't know if maybe we need to wait till next segment to really dig into this thing, but this Matt Stafford story is fascinating to me. The Rams are letting Stafford's agent talk to other teams about his market value. Now, no one's demanding a trade. No one's saying go look for a trade. Apparently what the Rams are asking them to do is go see what your value would be to other teams.
Which isn't uncommon. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's uncommon for a dude of the stature of Stafford, but it's not uncommon. Call me last.
It's really weird. After the Rams won the Super Bowl, they had a contract extension. This was March 2022. Stafford has 2 seasons left on the deal, $4 million guaranteed this coming year,
which is change.
0 guaranteed in 2026. Last offseason, Stafford and the Rams agreed to a new contract, a reworked contract, which it took the day that they reported to training camp as the day that it got done. And McVay said after the season that he hoped that Stafford and the team could have some clarity on the situation sooner than later.
Now, what do you think the outcome of this is going to be? Honestly. It's over. He's done. He's not going back to L.A.
It's hard to imagine it, quite frankly.
Well, he's not. You can't let do you not think that if I'm the Vikings, I had a certain dollar amount set aside for Stafford next year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not for Stafford, for Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. I believe that their intent is to keep Darnold around as long as they can for a certain amount. That's probably right into where Stafford is going to land. Now, what the Vikings have to decide is, I think Stafford has an intention on playing more than another year, maybe 2. But this gives the Vikings a lot of leeway suddenly. And you can't tell your starting quarterback, your Super Bowl champion quarterback, go find your best deal, because somebody out there is going to godfather him. If you're really comfortable with this, you've already accepted the fact that I'm probably not going to have Stafford next year. You can't let a guy like a Super Bowl champion quarterback floating around out there with 8 teams that haven't sniffed a couple of wins because they haven't had a quarterback the likes of Stafford forever. Now, I'm not saying Stafford's what he was, but he's certainly better than 65% of the quarterbacks out there, if not more than that. If you're letting him go shop, somebody go buy him.
But first of all, they can't buy him yet because he's still under contract.
They're going. You're going to let him go look.
I just told you. I mean, the Rams have 0 guaranteed money in 2 years. $4 million. Like
they
right
don't
now,
have any intent to. They don't want to pay him. They don't want to pay him. So they just want to know what's the market just in case. But their plans do not. You don't let your starting quarterback. You don't let your girlfriend go. You know what? You don't like me. Go look around.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. And if you come back and you find out I'm your guy, you're telling them it's not you, it's me.
The whole thing about it that's so weird is Matt Stafford was good this season. Matt Stafford was awesome against the Vikings in the playoffs. Matt Stafford was awesome against the Eagles in the playoffs. And if it weren't for those 2 80-yard runs that Saquon broke off, the Rams, with the exception of those 2 plays, the Rams outplayed the Eagles.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you're going to start all the way over with a team that was just in the second round of the playoffs?
You don't let your starting quarterback sniff freedom if you don't expect to lose him. If he's that good, you sign him. If he's not, you go find somebody else.
The tough thing about it is he's 37 years old.
You're right.
What kind of deal do you give him?
They're turning the page on him. I think that they'd like to have him, but I think we might come to the point where does it really matter who's playing quarterback for the Rams?
Ooh. I think. I mean, he could he be a Shanahan? I don't know. But even with Shanahan, it mattered.
Well, kind of. But even with a Garoppolo, even with
not with Trey Lance.
Well, not with Trey Lance, but no one has been able to fix that. Solve that riddle. But even with Garoppolo, I mean, are we to the point where he's a coach where you go, maybe it doesn't matter.
I mean, he took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl, and then he said...
Remember what he did with Baker Mayfield in one game?
Yeah.
So you might go to the point where maybe he's so good that I don't want to pay more than Baker money, and somebody go pay Stafford Baker money, probably for a couple of years. I would. I'm not as sure if I'm the Vikings, I'd pay him for a couple of years, but I'd certainly pay him this year.
He's, like I said, 37 years old.
Darnold's got to be pissed. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But you're killing me here. I was the man.
Maybe the Rams pay Sam Darnold.
Well, crazier things have happened. And the fact you just don't let your starting quarterback go interview for another position. You just don't let that happen.
It's certainly like it's a unique situation. It's something that we haven't seen before where they're like, you go find out what your market value is and then come back and we'll talk about a deal.
There's a Bill O'Brien out there to do something stupid every day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, congratulations. Bye.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But also, I mean, I guess Stafford doesn't strike me as a kind of guy who would be like, I'm not going to play on this deal that I'm on.
No, I don't think it's that. But what you're telling me as your Super Bowl winning quarterback, who in fact just went and single-handedly played one of the better playoff games anybody played this year, that you don't want me to you're telling me I can go shop around? I mean, that's kind of a slap. You're telling me you don't want me by telling me you don't want me by saying go look around.
His agent asked for this.
Well,
like his agent said, "Hey, do you mind if we go and
But you don't say yes. You say no. What are you talking about? You're mine. If you leave, I will play the role of where you go. You won't.
Yeah.
So you just don't let your quarterback have that kind of freedom.
All right. Guys, if you are ever scrolling through social media, you notice what's going on in the world, and it ain't always pretty. It ain't always fun. It ain't always easy to look at. It's hard to not get yourself wrapped up in stuff that you can't control. What if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing, stuff that you can control? At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medications personalized to you. And the best part is it's all in-network, so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost of it. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. So if you are dealing with stress, you are anxious, you want to just sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you want to be more present and focused at work or in the gym, whatever it may be, like you just want to get your mind right, give Cerebral a try. I'm right now going through a major life transition. I'm living 2,000 miles away from my family. It's a tough thing. It's always good to have someone to talk those things through with. And Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral's also proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health, just as important. At Cerebral, they're here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. So take that first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight. And you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Machine's out of Coke Zero.
I know. I brought my own can. I thought
Did
it
you?
might be, yeah.
That's a good thing in my mind.
You like the full sugar Coke.
I like it. What's the old school? I like high test.
Yeah.
Fully leaded.
I don't
Or
like
Diet Coke.
The Diet Coke doesn't taste good though. Coke Zero tastes like regular Coke just without sugar.
Yeah.
It does.
Mostly. You're 98% there.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, no, I get it. No,
Diet Coke's
anybody
not
ever
even
drank
close.
Diet Coke? That stuff's disgusting. That's battery acid.
It's not even close.
It kills you too.
The only
believe
thing
it
Diet
kills you.
Coke is good for is pouring in rum. That's the only time I will ever drink Diet Coke.
And I have a family member that likes it in Jack.
Oh.
But me too. But I
Well,
firmly
also am
believe
not looking to drink Jack generally.
Yeah.
But there is that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that stuff will kill you. So
the Jack
Coke
or the
Zero-
Diet Coke?
Both, but no,
Okay.
Jack less. But you did it right, man.
I called the
There's
doctor.
nothing better in the world than a cold Dr. Pepper before 8 a.m.
Called the doctor.
I'll tell you, that's one of the finer pleasures a fine Texan can have.
You know what I like better?
A long pull on a Dr.
Big
Pepper
Red.
in the morning.
A Dr. Pepper Zero.
Well, maybe, but the flavor.
Yeah.
Just can't beat it, man. It's in my DNA.
Could you drink a Big Red before 9 a.m.?
Oh yeah, I have many times.
I could drink Big Red 24/7
Oh.
anytime.
Normally, it involves.
I don't care. Actually, a
breakfast.
Big Red Zero. But
Is there
yeah.
Big Red Zero? Do
Yeah.
they make it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I could drink that all
that's
day,
so
every
gross.
day.
That's a San
weird.
Antonio
You guys are
thing.
weird with that, man.
It's a San Antonio.
Yeah, it all started with the raspas,
Yeah.
with the
Sucking the juice out of the bottom of the raspa. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's where it
it's
started.
So syrupy.
I saw Burnt Bean posted this weekend. They had a smoked barbacoa taco. It had like some green sauce on it. It looked awesome. Like those tortillas that they take their rendered brisket fat and then they like cook them a little bit in that brisket fat and then they put the barbacoa. I mean, it's just a great looking taco. And then there's a Big Red, and they're like barbacoa and Big Red. I'm like, oh.
As a gift from God. It is, in fact.
Keep that Big Red.
That God loves us.
Keep that Big Red.
You want to know if, in fact, there is a God, and he does, in fact, love us.
How many Big Reds could you drink?
Depending on how many tacos I was going to have. Because the thing about Big Red, especially with the barbacoa, is it cuts the fat perfectly. It gets that, that collagen feeling you get on your teeth on the inside when you have a good barbacoa. It cuts that out, so every taste is reinforced. It's the best thing to have with it.
I would just eat an onion.
Well, onions are good. You better have onions on a good barbacoa. I like onions and cilantro. I take all that too. But there's just something about the profile, the sweet and sour, the yin and the yang, the positive, negative. It is all reinforced in the very perfect taco.
Big in the red. Yeah.
I've tried it, man. I've tried it. It's just not for me. Just not for me. My kid loves it. Elsewhere, who was this saying this? Because whoever said it was right. The Rams. Oh, it was Grinch. Rams signaling they're trading Cooper Kupp is odd as well.
See,
there really is something to like.
And if
what's
you're
going
Stafford,
on with the Rams?
Maybe you're like, get me the hell out of here.
It is a good point. Now, you talk about something that could shake up the draft.
Yes, there's a lot of quarterbacks paying real close attention to this because Stafford's a difference maker. He's a guy who could put you over the top. Or at least put you in the playoffs. You know what I mean? He can take you from average to better.
But also, I mean, if you're looking at Cam Ward, you're looking at Shedeur Sanders, some guys who have some mobility. If that's what you're interested in, you're not going to get that with Matt Stafford.
I don't think you're not. If you're in the market for Stafford or Darnold, you're not in the market for the draft. These are different dudes.
You're
these
closer.
These are different teams.
Yeah, I'll tell you the team that I think could look at Matt Stafford hard is the Jets.
Yes, the Jets, I think, are going to do both. I think they're going to draft, but they're going to go get somebody that understands
Remember the Jets drafted Jordan Travis last year, and he's been sitting around.
Maybe, but if they're fools if they don't draft another one. You know what I mean? But I do think that the Jets are a logical place to land. And there's 3 or 4 out there that I don't know which ones, but you can go by and go dig it through their records. Like, I think Pittsburgh suddenly ears perked up.
Oh,
like,
Pittsburgh would be,
what?
yeah.
So I think there's some teams that are more than willing to take a look at Stafford and offer a little bit of a godfather to get him over the next year or two. So I think that, Darnold's upset. I think that there's probably a couple others out there that go, oh, well, there went my draft pick. I went down a notch or two because now there's a quarterback available.
Although a lot of these teams need to look at Matt Stafford indoor versus outdoor splits because it's a guy who played almost his whole career inside.
A case study would be Kirk Cousins. Be very, very careful because Matt Stafford could easily become Cousins, just a product of his environment that went someplace else and nothing worked.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Although Matt Stafford's now succeeded. I say succeeded in 2 places. He succeeded as much as you can in Detroit.
I'm not saying those two are equivalent. I'm not. Stafford is a far better than quarterback than Cousins ever was.
And also not coming off a major injury.
Yeah, but there is the possibility that a lot of things went right for Stafford, his head coach, and the skill guys around him that he won't have if he goes someplace else.
Yeah.
I mean, Cooper Kupp's a pretty good dude to have around you for 3 or 4
But I
years.
also understand Cooper Kupp's price is high for a dude who's hardly ever around, it seems like.
Get it. And if he's gone, maybe I don't want to be here either. But let's not say that Stafford did all this by himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? He had some studs around.
Well, also, to take nothing away from Sean McVay, who I still believe is like a wizard.
And maybe we're getting to the point where and that McVay is that good. Like, just give me another arm that can take in my playbook, and I'll do the rest. You know what I mean?
And I think, we talked about this when the Cooper Kupp news first hit that they were going to look to trade him. Sean McVay found Cooper Kupp 2.0. He found a bigger, faster, cheaper version of him in Puka Nacua, and is like, all right, so now we can trade Cooper Kupp. We've got this covered.
Right.
Let's go find some other parts. And it also could be that the Rams, who have been, even going back to when they won the Super Bowl, have been a very top-heavy roster, are trying to balance things out a little bit. And they realize that, okay, we got a 37-year-old quarterback. We've got a WR1 in his 30s who's clearly having a hard time staying on the field. Aaron Donald left. Like we need to find what our future is going to be, and it's hard when you're holding on to those old pieces.
Like Seattle. If I'm Seattle, I might have a talk with Matt Stafford. I know that Geno's there, but I know that Geno, I've seen his ceiling. You know what I mean? If there's some teams out there that might not have been in the market that they go, wait a minute, you're telling me I can get Stafford for this, and it won't cost you much.
Yeah, if I'm the Rams, I'm certainly not letting him go in the NFC West. That means you're not allowed in Seattle. You're not allowed in San Francisco.
I promise you, throughout this show, different teams are going to land in my brain, and I'm going to throw another one out.
Okay.
Because I think that there's teams out there that suddenly go, wait a minute. I can get Stafford for really only the salary. You know, I'm only going to have to pay him. I'm not going to have to give up much. It might be a draft pick, but I'm not going to. If the Rams are done, they're done. You know, they're not going to.
What about the New Orleans Saints?
That's the other one.
If they're not if they don't like the Derek Carr situation.
I got a new dude in there, and I don't think there's that much difference between Derek Carr and Matt Stafford other than a different dude and a turning of the page.
What about the Raiders?
Again, I could see drafting Shedeur and paying Stafford. I can see doing that because I saw what happened in Minnesota. It seemed to work there so far. So I think that Stafford throws a wild card into this whole quarterback chase. It really does.
It does. And we'll see. We'll see we'll see how much traction there is to this. But we've never. This is unprecedented. Like just telling a quarterback, yeah, go find out what you're worth, and if we think that's accurate, we'll pay it, and if not, I get what's the if not? Like, are we going to look to try to work a deal for you? How do we do?
I don't know how. If I'm Stafford's agent, whether I was furious with the Rams or totally psyched, I don't know how I take that phone call.
There's a story today on CBS Sports about Cooper Kupp, and it says it's a given now that Cooper Kupp is not going to play with the Rams next year. They aren't interested in reworking Kupp's contract. They have just decided they're going to move on from him. He's got 2 years, $39.5 million left on his deal. Averages $26 million a year. He signed that in June of 2022, and it said his contract needed to be addressed after a 2021 season in which he became the first player to win the receiving Triple Crown since 2005. He's scheduled to make $20 million this year, $20 million the next year, with basically 29.8 and 27.3 salary cap numbers those years. So they're like, we got to get rid of it. Now, the Rams are going to have to eat some of that, too, at this point, because Cooper Kupp's 32 years old. Since that 2021 season, he's hardly been able to stay healthy. No one's going to take him on for the money that he's making right now. But it's remember the Rams did the same thing with Robert Woods before they traded him. They ate some of Robert Woods' money.
And Robert Woods was never really heard from again.
No. He was in Tennessee for a year, and then he went to the Texans. He's all over the place.
I mean, he hadn't been healthy in his defense, but the fact is, the Rams got rid of him at the right time.
And then they had Allen Robinson.
Right time.
He had a terrible start to his career in L.A., and the Rams paid $10 million of his guaranteed $15 million to get his ass out of town. So they're going to pay to get rid of him. Now, the thought is, what can you get back for him? So this story says the Rams shouldn't expect more than a day 3 draft pick.
Exactly. The thing with Kupp is that's a lot of money to pay for a less than guaranteed future. I mean, he has had trouble staying on the field. And at the end of the day, and I hate to put it this way, but it's true, he is a possession receiver. That's what he is. He's a safety blanket. I could probably find a tight end to do a lot of that for a lot less. You know, if I'm really getting down to what Cooper Kupp is great at.
Yeah.
He's not going to stretch the zone. He's going to get you a lot of first downs. You know, he matters, but he plays the role of a really good tight end. I either have that or Cooper Kupp. And I could probably get a tight end for a whole lot less than $30 or $25 million a year.
Now, the Bills they paid $31 million in dead money in 2024. They paid it. They wanted to get it all done at once, so they ate it all at once to get rid of Stephon Diggs. They gave up Diggs, a 4th rounder, and a 5th rounder in exchange for a 2nd rounder. I'd be a lot more interested in that. If I've got to eat all that money, I'd rather give away a couple small draft picks and get a solid one back than take a 5th round pick and then eat money.
Depending on where I am, I can see financially why I would do that just to get out from underneath it. And with a guy like Kupp, I can see wanting to do that because I want to make sure my options are wide open because he might not physically be capable of doing this anymore. I do think he's that good, but I'm not going to go really out of my way to spend a whole lot unless, of course, I eat the money and can say goodbye fast.
The other side of it is like when the Cowboys got Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, who ironically didn't want to go through the rebuild with the Texans.
And landed. Well, the thing about Cooks but Cooks is a different kind of receiver.
Yeah, but Cooks was a 30-year-old dude at the time, and he had $35 million left on his contract.
But, the thing about Cooks is he's always the guy included.
Yeah.
Nice guy, fits in well, everybody happy to have him, he's included. I don't think he's ever really had the chance. Cooper, these guys just don't seem to last very long.
The other option is, and it says this wouldn't be a surprise if the Rams just ended up releasing Kupp. The Rams initially will have $22 million in dead money, where $7.52 million of cap room is created by releasing Kupp.
When was this? So this has happened this weekend, post the announcement of what the salary cap's going to look like with that extra 40.
This is all happened. This story was written yesterday
because the numbers did vary to the point where you might reevaluate your commitment to Kupp with the extra millions.
I don't think
that's
so.
going
I
to be
think
there.
they've decided they're out.
But
they're out.
You're just not going to get a lot for the guy because whoever gets him is going to have to pay him so much.
It says if there isn't a trade, the situation would parallel DeAndre Hopkins, who signed a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Titans, and then that was after the Cardinals just released him. He'd struggled in Arizona, and they said, "Oh, you're out," and it'd be a similar situation. I don't know. I feel like Cooper Kupp's going to have some value for a team.
Oh, a good team gets a lot better with Cooper Kupp.
I think so too. But
he can't be your lead, can't be your A. You have to have somewhere in the bank just because I can't expect him to play a full season. He hasn't done it in a minute.
But the whole thing that the Rams are, like the grand picture of it, this Stafford thing and this Cooper Kupp thing, it really does signal like they're starting over.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting about that particularly is, well, first of all, they could have easily been in the NFC Championship game this year. Like, again, if not for 2 broken runs in the snow, like they outplayed Philly that day.
And the thing is, I think this was in place before those games.
I think so. Well, certainly the Kupp thing was, but the weird thing about it is, 2 years ago, Sean McVay was going to leave coaching. Do you remember this?
He was burnt out. He was going to go
He was going to go be on TV,
mm-hmm.
He's like, you know what? I'm refocused, recommitted. And in my mind, there was no way Sean McVay would have said that if he was up for like a rebuild. Like, Sean McVay wanted to win. Like, he wasn't going to come back and like start from scratch.
Maybe, but there's also the thrill of the rebuild. There's also, let's do this again. I can see being reinvigorated by going, all right, let's erase the chalkboard. Let's start this thing over.
I mean, if you were going to do that, couldn't you just go to a different team?
Well, the only way, you know what reinvigorates me to do that is an ownership that will pay me and protect me over the next 3 or 4 years as I do this. And if I feel very comfortable that they're not going to fire me, they trust me. And if, I deserve to get fired if things go south, obviously, but if you're going to let me do things my way, and that'll make me wake up in the morning.
All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back, wrap up the second hour of the program. I got to tell you about Karbach Brewing. Oh, yes. That's sweet, sweet nectar. Guys, if you're looking for an upgrade in your beer game, might ought to be time to give Karbach a try. Obviously, they've got my favorite is the Crawford Bock. It is I think a great everyday drinker. I think it's great for when it's cold outside. I think it's great for when it's warm outside. And it's like, man, you can't beat that combo. It's just the perfect daily beer. But if that's not your flavor, no big deal. They've got the Love Street, which is their blonde style Kolsch. and that is their best-selling beer, by the way. Massive, massive popular beer. And then Hopadillo, which is their in-your-face IPA, just super bitter, very hop-forward, and just kind of an old-school IPA that, is just is bringing all those flavors out. They also have the Hoplectic, which is their seasonal IPA right now, just very well-balanced beer. A ton to choose from with Karbach, as always, and a ton of places to get it. They are all over San Antonio. They've made a concerted effort to be in San Antonio, so you can find them at all the liquor stores, all the grocery stores, but you can find them at a lot more bars and restaurants than you think, too. So when you're out and about this week, you're making your rounds, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We're still dealing with that trouble spot on the north side at 281 southbound just past Bassey. It's a stall, left lane, a little bit of stop and go from Jones-Maltzberger. Did clear the wreck at 1604 northbound just past Calabria. Still have a stall at 35 northbound Rittiman, now off to the right shoulder. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Right now at North Park Chevrolet, own a new 2024 Silverado Crew Cab posted at $33,999 or lease for $0 down and $370 a month. Get 1.9% financing on all new 2024 Colorado trucks. A new 2025 Equinox LT is posted at only $25,999 plus 2.9% financing. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like, to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Claymore's an ageist, is what I've noticed.
He's what?
He's an ageist.
Is
he?
Hey.
How old are they?
I don't know. Claymore's like, remember Claymore was like, nobody's going to sign Aaron Rodgers. Now he's like, Matt Stafford. There's no market for Matt Stafford. He's too old.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody's too old.
Yeah, I know, but like Matt Stafford's better than like all but maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 guys in the league today.
Yeah, and I get what.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers sucks, but Matt Stafford's still not. He's still not garbage.
Well, I get what Claymore's saying, but Claymore, you need to understand that not everybody is looking for a rookie. Not everybody is looking to rebuild. There are some teams that are just trying to build a bridge to the point where they go get a rookie. They got too much going on that might allow them to have a modicum of success, and that's enough to go chase for a year. You name the quarterback you either hate or you love, whether it's Stafford or Rodgers or somewhere in between, just because there's value in the known. And I know what these guys can do. Even though Rodgers can't do everything he thinks he can, most of us know what he's capable of now. And if you just build something that allow him to do that, that might be enough for a year. No, not everybody should go get Stafford. It ain't good for you, but it's good for some teams.
Yeah, like the Tennessee Titans getting Matt Stafford would do them no good.
It's silly.
The New York Giants getting Matt Stafford would not. That's not the answer.
But Pittsburgh, I get it.
If you're a team that's close and you feel like this guy's, your window is X and you've got to make a move, I think it does make sense for a lot of teams. That said, to me, it makes sense for the Rams because their window's clearly still not shut.
Well,
unless there's financial, but I can't imagine the Rams of all teams are having financial constraints make decisions for them.
I don't think it's that, but I do think that the plan was in place before Stafford had a phenomenal game. I don't think they saw the Viking game coming. I think the plan was in place. They saw this season, and it wasn't a good season. They had injuries, and guys look old, and it looked like this team in this iteration and in this direction had played its course.
Yeah.
And they closed it out because they're champs. But really that team during the regular season looked like, there's a lot of tired things about this. And Stafford wasn't the most tired, but he was still part of the tired group.
He says, what's another team willing to give up for Stafford? But that's what their agent, or that's what his agent's going to find out.
Right. You just asked the question.
That's the same question the Rams are wondering. But
a good lawyer never asks the question that he doesn't have the answer to.
I agree with that. And my guess is Stafford probably could pull a second-round pick. Maybe a third-round pick for 2 years of Stafford. I think somebody would pay that.
I think so, given the right situation.
Because for the Rams, it would relieve them of some money, and that other team is going to have to pay some money, obviously.
Yeah, you'd have to eat that extra money.
So I think, depending on how much of the salary the Rams will eat, I think a second or a third-round pick could be the answer. And, are you going to find another Matt Stafford with a second or third-round pick? Unlikely.
Nobody can throw darts like that.
No.
There's no way.
But they've clearly, and again, it boils down to how much do you trust Sean McVay to find the next guy? Not many guys I would trust more. I'll say that.
You look at where, just for example, let's just say, just for conversation's sake, that Dak was a free agent today.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the chance.
Which he could have been if Jerry wouldn't have blinked.
So Jerry doesn't sign him. And then you hear today that you can go get Matt Stafford.
Would you rather have Matt Stafford for the next 2 years or Dak Prescott?
That's a question that we'll never get to answer, but I would certainly consider both. You could go, 2 years
you make an argument for both sides.
So if you, there's a
good
lot
and bad
of
arguments on both sides.
So don't discount the fact that there's a team or two out there that might not be willing to separate with a third or a fourth round pick to go get a guy who's going to put on a gold jacket and one of the top 10 to ever play the game? Let's just call what he is. I mean, by yards, he's got the Super Bowl.
Oh, statistically,
and top 10
he is
probably is probably a little high. But even if he's in the top 30 to ever slice him up, you have a chance to go get him. I can see going to do it.
Yeah, he's by the time it's all said and done, statistically he is going. He's already in the top 10.
Yeah,
for passing yards and stuff like that.
But in the hierarchy, he's probably not top 10 all time. But by the numbers show you, and if you can go get a dude like that to close out his career, and you got enough talent to know that he, at the very least, ain't going to slow this team down, and he very well could elevate them like he did against Minnesota. It's worth $35 million in a third.
You know what's funny? The list of names he's likely to pass next year is Dan Marino, Matt Ryan.
That's about right.
And if he doesn't find a spot to play, Aaron Rodgers. So Matt Stafford's at 59,800 yards. They're all within 5,000 yards of him. Marino, Ryan, Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, and Ben Roethlisberger. And Ben Roethlisberger currently sits 5th on the all-time passing list. Matt Stafford is going to be in the top 5 of the all-time passing leaders by the time he's done.
And I remember coming out, it was him and Matt Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. Yeah. You had your choice of the two.
I don't think there was much of a choice.
Sanchez went to the playoffs first.
Well, yeah. And I guess that's
crazy?
if that's the big win is
butt fumble.
You go to the playoffs first. I remember Matt Stafford was when I was in Austin. Everybody thought Matt Stafford was going to go to Texas.
It felt like it.
And Matt Stafford, who was a Texas kid, he decided to go to Georgia because his girlfriend went to Georgia.
He was Highland Park,
and people were like, "What? You're following your girlfriend?" I think he ended up marrying her.
Worked out well. Yeah, he did.
So it did work out well. But yeah, Matt Stafford. And by the way, if you go back and look at that draft, if you had taken any other player other than Matt Stafford with the first pick, you would have gotten fired.
Yeah, I think
there was nobody even.
The player of the year was a running back out of Utah. You had Mark Sanchez coming out. There just wasn't a whole lot there. You had to hit it right on the button.
Like guys that have the only guys who have the Pro Bowl coloring on the other first rounders, it's like Brian Arakpo, BJ Raji, Malcolm Jenkins, Brian Cushing.
Yep. That was a good draft.
No, not really.
Cushing could play for a couple years if he could just hold it together.
Those were the best players in the draft.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't a deep draft.
The top 5.
What was that, 08, 09?
That was 09, yeah. Top draft picks. Stafford 1. Jason Smith, the tackle from Baylor, went 2. Didn't work out. Tyson Jackson, the defensive end from LSU, went 3rd to the Chiefs. Didn't work out. Aaron Curry.
Oh, yeah, he was big time.
Inside linebacker, taking top
Georgia
5. That's what
Georgia
you get.
Kid too?
No, it was Wake Forest.
That's right. I knew it was
went to the Seahawks.
Ooh, he was a big one.
And then Mark Sanchez went 5th to the Jets.
Hollywood.
What a disastrous.
But, I mean, they were happy with him. He took made the AFC Championship game within 2 years with him.
Yep.
Now he's doing fine work on Fox.
Now he's. I mean, listen, he had a 10-year NFL career.
Good career.
Good for him. Just didn't quite live up to the hype. All right. Good news if you like free stuff. Oh, what time are we supposed to give away? What's Mellow Monday's time? Is that supposed to be 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock? All right.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
In the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to give away a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom.
Pizza.
Oh, delicious. Yes. But in the 8 o'clock hour, which happens to be the next hour of radio that we do, we've got 2 pairs of tickets that we're going to give away. One is for the Yacht Rock review.
Sounds like some kind of transgender show.
March 5th
Yacht Rock review
at Aztec.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
You seem like a Yacht Rock guy.
Oh, I am. You should see my playlist.
Yeah.
There's a special on Max about Yacht Rock.
It's not for me.
Oh,
but
you love Yacht Rock. Everybody loves Yacht Rock.
That's not true. I said everybody loves Wilson Phillips, and you don't.
No, I don't dislike them.
Who can hear that song and go, I don't like that?
It's one of the top 30 songs of the 90s. Let's not denigrate what is not great.
That's right.
But you don't. Everybody loves Yacht Rock.
And then also in the next hour, we'll give away tickets to go see Nate Jackson, the Super Funny World Tour. That'll be June 20th at the Aztec Theater. So a couple pairs of tickets to give away.
I'm looking at these guys' set list.
What do we got?
Okay, so we start out. This is, I guess,
Yacht Rock Review.
So we got the Doobie Brothers, what's it called, medley.
Okay.
Then we go right into Ride Like the Wind, then into Steal Away, then Brandy. She's a fine girl.
Yeah.
Africa.
Nice.
I'm not sure what Bad Tequila is, but I assume it's another medley of.
Okay.
I think I'm down with this Yacht Rock because not only do we have the easy listening, but we get medleys too.
Well, it's coming up March 5th.
I like 3 songs rolled into one.
Do you want to not give away these tickets so you can pocket them? Is that what you want to do?
All I can say is there might be a day this week we don't give them away, but
Okay.
I don't know about that.
We'll see. So
sailing.
Oh God.
Take me away.
See, there are people who don't like that.
You know, he went to Heights, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he from here?
Yeah, he went to Alamo Heights.
Who's this?
The guy who sang Sailing.
Who's the guy who sang Sailing?
Christopher Cross.
Oh, Christopher Cross.
Yeah. We lay claim to 2. Chris Cross went to Alamo Heights, and Steve Earle, I believe, went to Judson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a San Antonio boy.
Well,
Judson could be wrong, but I know he's from here.
Listen, Christopher Cross, the pride of San Antonio.
Yeah,
a lot of people call him.
I'll claim him.
A lot of people call him that. I noticed. A lot of people call him that.
Arthur, he does what he pleases. I got his whole catalog. The man is a genius.
Oh, man. The man is a genius, Rob says. The
Musical
man is
genius.
a genius. As Rob is fired up for this U2 cover band we're going to see on Saturday. Oh, I can't wait to hear you belting it out.
Where do you see my wig and sunglasses?
Your wife's going to be in the back, like, covering her eyes, like, oh, my God.
I have my
She's
skinny
going to
peg
feel
leg
how I
jeans
felt
on.
when Rob was making that Aggie noise every time the dog showed.
What's wrong with him?
It's embarrassing. All right, we'll be back. Halfway point, Morning Huddle 94.1.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Guys, if you're feeling tired or low on energy, it could be your testosterone. Game Day Men's Health in Alamo Heights offers a simple 3-step process to get you back to feeling your best. Call 210-900-3691. That's Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is is the standard. If Mello can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mello Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mello Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mello Mushroom.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning as you head out into your early morning commute on 1604 westbound Kyle Seal Parkway. Got some debris in the roadway. It's in the left lane. So about a 5-minute delay has you slow from New Gilbo. 35 southbound Randolph Boulevard, disabled vehicle out to the shoulder, and 90 eastbound 211 to 410. Traffic rolling stop and go, about a 20-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Tough news coming from the San Antonio Spurs as Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich is not expected to return this season. His NBA future is uncertain as he recovers from a stroke suffered in November. University of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, considered to be one of the top 2 players at that position, will not work out at the scouting combine in Indianapolis this week. Sources confirmed to ESPN over the weekend. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yes, sir! Morning Huddle 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. I love that we're getting back into the flow of NBA and NHL. We're done with all this all-star nonsense.
And we are 3 weeks from Selection Sunday.
And baseball's about to start kicking off, too.
Okay, we'll talk about baseball in due time, right? All of us have apps, sports apps, so we get our score updates.
Mm-hmm.
And, mine are turned on to give me updates for my teams. I don't need to get a Texas Rangers or an Astros update from the Grapefruit League. I don't care.
Like
and
either.
I keep getting those updates in the middle of my Sunday afternoon thinking it matters. And I look down, oh, good. The Rangers split squad just beat the Dominican contingent with the Cardinals. I mean, I don't care. You don't need to publicize that. Those are practices.
Did you see the biggest thing that happened in college basketball this weekend?
Was that the Mike Woodson chair that he sat in?
No.
What a random thing to do, man.
Did you see Alex Rodriguez?
Now, what exactly is going on with A-Rod here?
So A-Rod, that Bucknell was playing Army.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea why Alex Rodriguez
was at a Bucknell Army game.
Although it says he was at Bucknell to speak about his company Jump Platforms.
Okay.
All right. His 2 partners are both Bucknell grads.
Okay.
One's a grad and one's a trustee But A-Rod, who's his whole big deal right now, this guy Mark Laurie that he's working with, he's trying to work with him to buy the majority stake of the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
So I guess he's doing what this guy asked him to do. But he's at halftime. He got invited to take the shot at halftime, the half-court shot, and he won this kid $10,000.
I saw him dancing around.
A scholarship.
I didn't know he'd hit the shot.
He sunk the half-court shot, banked it off the backboard straight through. And the crowd goes wild. Bucknell ended up winning the game by 30-something points against Army. But yeah, A-Rod still got some game, hitting the old 30-footers. I was like, when I saw A-Rod do it, and he was wearing orange, I assumed he was at Miami.
So
I was like,
did he ask to take the shot?
I think that because he was there, they gave the kid who won the opportunity, they gave him the option of, do you want to shoot or do you want A-Rod to shoot it for you?
Let me tell you, if I hand the ball to A-Rod to make or miss a $10,000 shot, and he misses, A-Rod better write me a check for $10,000.
Roll it off the
Just
old...
like, dude, I put it in your hands. You ain't going to miss $10K. Why don't you write me a check?
Come on,
we'll
help
all
me out,
be better
Bubba.
off.
Help me out. I think A-Rod was just excited he made the shot. The other kid was stoked about the 10 Gs, but this A-Rod's like, I made a shot on TV. I look awesome.
Finally. J-Lo, did you see that?
A-Rod's still in phenomenal shape, by the way.
There's a kid from San Antonio played basketball up at Bucknell named Mazinar. Could play.
Yeah?
That's whenever I hear Bucknell.
Where's it? It's in Pennsylvania, right?
I have no idea. It's kind of like a low-end Ivy League, right?
I think
it's
it
kind
is
of like Dartmouth, kind of there in the Ivy League, but not quite. Looks good on the resume, but it really wasn't that hard to get into.
Oh yeah, well,
you pay your fee, you get a good B. You could say I went to a low-end Ivy League school.
I was there.
I worked with a guy in Vegas, one of our research guys at the sports betting place. He was a Yale grad, and he said literally everyone who goes to the Ivy League has Cornell as their backup school.
It is.
He's like, Cornell
and Dartmouth are the fallbacks.
No, Dartmouth apparently is like kind of tougher
really?
to get in than you would think. But he's like, every Ivy League student has been accepted to the school they got accepted to and Cornell.
It's like they're the Tech.
Like,
the Texas Tech of the Big 12.
It's like, yeah, if you're
Sorry, Red Raider.
If you're a pretty dumb girl
there.
by Ivy League standards, I would imagine the hot chicks in the Ivy League go to Cornell.
Hot Dartmouth or Cornell chicks.
Those are the hot chicks.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's Lewisburg, Pennsylvania.
There you go.
The Bucknell Bison.
The Bison.
Yeah. Look at them. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. They're on a tear. They're an unstoppable force there in the Patriot League. But yeah, A-Rod getting the job done. All right, let's go ahead and give away one pair of these tickets now. What should we give away first? I think everybody wants that Yacht Rock.
I know everybody wants the Yacht Rock.
Let's do it, man. Yacht Rock review, March 5th at the Aztec Theater. Let's go caller number 4. Caller number 4. 210-656-ESPN. Win a pair of tickets to go see the Yacht Rock review live March 5th at the Aztec Theaters. And if you don't win, go to livenation.com where you can get those tickets. This is crazy to me. Celtics are the field in the Eastern Conference. Like, have they been watching the Cavs all year? Like, that's wild to think that the Celtics are just a given in the Eastern Conference.
Well, until proven otherwise. I agree with it because they're still the champs. And no team in history, and I'm including Golden State in this, can shoot the way that when they're hot that Boston can. No team. I've never seen a team that will throw out. Now, I know Steph and Clay could hit, but there are nights when Jalen is hitting and Tatum is hitting and Pritchett is hitting and Holiday's hitting and Horford is hitting. I've never seen a team shoot the way they shoot. The volume and the accuracy, when they're on, nobody can keep up. I don't care who you are. You can't keep up with them.
What do you think the odds are in the Eastern Conference for the Celtics to win the East and the Cavs to win the East?
I'd say Celtics I'd say 30 to 35% Celtics, 25 to 30% Cavs, and the rest the field, maybe. I don't know. I feel like the Boston is up, but I mean it's not going to be easy for anybody.
The Celtics are currently minus 120.
So
they are minus favorites.
And again, when you watch them play, my God, when Peyton Pritchard's hitting 12 threes in a game,
yeah,
you're not going to beat them. And now Cleveland can. They just haven't had a chance yet.
Cleveland is plus 245 to win the East.
Well,
I'm interested in that.
I think that's some good money, but I fall back on Vegas always knows, and they see a team that they just don't match up very well against Boston.
Knicks 6-1, and then it's a massive jump.
Yeah.
Bucks 13-1.
There's some money there.
Pacers 35.
Watch Milwaukee right now,
and then Orlando 100-1. Yeah. So I mean, it's like they're basically saying it's just like the West. OKC is even money.
Should be.
Bet 100, win 100.
Should be.
Nuggets 6-1. Lakers plus 750. Warriors plus 950. There might be value on this.
I was going to say
Grizzlies 13-1.
I like. Be very careful of what's going on in Golden State. Those guys are acting very coy, and then what have they ripped off? Like 5 straight games? Be very careful. I know Draymond talking about title. I don't know about that, but I know Jimmy Butler knows how to win basketball games. I know Steph Curry knows how to win basketball games, and I certainly know Steve Kerr knows how to win basketball games. Be very wary of these guys. They might put it together right at the right time and send like OKC home. You know what I mean? Like that kind of upset.
Clippers 18-1, Mavericks 20-1, Timberwolves 25-1.
Wow, what could have been?
Rockets 28-1, and then the jump happens. Kings 150-1, same as the Suns. Your San Antonio Spurs 700-1.
Oh, you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Now, if you think there's a way that the Jazz or Pelicans can go to the NBA Finals.
Well, the Pelicans looked pretty good last night.
You bet $1. How many dollars do you think you can win? $1 can turn into
$1,000.
$3,000. 3,000-1.
Still too much. Too rich for my blood.
What? I mean, it's impossible.
We made the Pelicans look like finalists last night.
3,000-1. It's kind of like,
only problem is their best guy can only play every other game.
I know, big fatso. He's like, oh,
no, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
At first, he was like, I can't play back-to-backs, and now it's like
every other game.
Now, well, I know I played on Sunday, and the back-to-back would be Monday, but Tuesday's right after Monday, and that's
and on Mondays it's beignet day, and it's just really hard to get motivated on Mondays. So Tuesdays I'm better.
It's steak and shrimp night at Golden Corral on Mondays.
So yeah,
I typically I go hard on Monday.
I go hard, and then I normally have to have a little sit down right about tip. So it's probably better I don't play.
I need my day. I need my Pierce it. I need my special time. My special Zion time
to roll me off out of a wheelchair so I don't show my racing stripes.
Only just right for me. Just for me. You got the rest of you guys. You'll do fine without me. You'll do fine without me.
Did you hear last night watching the game? Speaking of the New Orleans food, Sean Elliott, there was a couple of no calls going on in the third quarter because it was obvious that this game was getting out of hand fast, and the refs weren't helping. So Sean was like, "Well, at least the refs understand that most of the restaurants close early here on Sunday nights."
Gotta hurry up and get
out of here. Everybody realized about midway through about 3 minutes into the third, this game's over. Where are we eating? At that moment, Sean was like, don't call anything. Lobster mac and cheese is waiting on me.
I read a story today about the running back market in the NFL, the free agent running back market this offseason. And you might be surprised how the Cowboys fit into this thing. We'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself anymore, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment like you'll get with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can for details.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, Jason Minix will be back, and we'll start looking at Indianapolis and the NFL Combine. That should be fascinating. Stephen Jones headed out there. We'll get some comments from him, that's for sure. And we'll react to the Spurs. How are they doing post-Wemby? The Blitz, Monday, starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Don't you know things will change, things will go your way if you hold on for one more day.
It's about to become
Just
our anthem. If you're not careful, this is like a
for
nickname.
one more day.
This might stick.
Things will go your way.
It'll be our show open.
Hold on for one more day. I wish you guys would harmonize with me.
I'm singing it in my head.
Oh. Angel voices. I was listening. I was randomly on the playlist yesterday. Madonna, Like a Prayer came on, and I was singing at the top of my voice in my car.
The brunette Madonna.
What a song Like a Prayer is.
Didn't she desecrate a cross?
Yeah, people were real upset about that video, but if you look past that and you just take the song for what it's worth, oh my gosh.
Just look past that.
Yeah, big deal. Listen, if they knew Marilyn Manson was coming years later, they wouldn't have worried about that Madonna thing so
really
much.
a big deal, was it?
Yeah. All right. There's a story here on CBS, the NFL running back market 2025, top free agents, best team fits, and projected deals. And it lists here the top 7 available running backs.
Now, before we get into this, is there a Saquon Barkley effect? Is there a Derrick Henry effect? Are we going to see a resurgence? Are people going to pay market plus with running backs? I don't know. I'm going to be really interested to see. And I don't know if it's going to be a free agent signing that's going to show me or where Ashton Genty gets drafted that'll show me. But I'm really curious to see where this running back market is.
I will say that it ain't going to happen this offseason because there's no Derrick Henrys or Saquon Barkleys.
Yeah.
There is one guy who looked like he was going to be that, but injuries have
do you think they'll be overpay for high average talent?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the market isn't back is where I'm getting.
I don't think so. I think that if you're a high-end guy, you're going to be able to get some, but there's just not a lot of high-end in this.
But it felt like 3 years ago, when you see I'm trying to name a Cowboy back that kind of, was named number 1 back, but isn't. I think that the running back market got overvalued, and they popped that balloon, but eventually it'll be overvalued again.
So the number 7 counts down the top 7. Number 7 is Kareem Hunt. And obviously, he had a hell of a season, given the fact that he was just picked up off the street.
But he's kind of a unique system kind of guy. He can't play on every. I guess a lot of backs fall into that category. But do you get the sense I could probably find somebody to do a lot of what he does for a little bit less?
I would think so. There's a stat here, rushing success rate leaders from this year, and a successful run means you gained on first down, first and 10, you got 4 yards. It's 40% on first down, 60% of required yards on second down, and then on third or fourth down, you have to get a first down. That's how you decide if a run, if it's considered successful.
That's a good barometer. Not the only one I would go by, but that's a good one.
So the rushing success rate leaders from last year, the best was Bijan Robinson at 60.2%. Second best was Derrick Henry at 58.8%. Third was Kareem Hunt at 55.5% of his runs.
So name the 3 teams
successful.
again, because a lot of this,
Atlanta, Baltimore, Kansas City.
I was going to say some of this I put squarely on play calling. What was the play call, down distance timing? Was it a brilliant play call that you were the benefactor of as the running back, or did you actually make the play? And I get the sense that Bijan probably made the play. There wasn't a lot of brilliant play calls setting him up.
I'm
but
guessing
the other two,
Derrick Henry is. You don't need to make a play. It's just he's Derrick Henry.
He's Derrick Henry, but you've also always got the threat that if he's not running it, Lamar is going the other way. So there's some protection there. That's why I like that as one of the numbers I would use to judge running backs, because I do think play call plays into it. But when you hear that number and you've got a veteran guy who you know is not going to make a mistake, you pay him. But I get the sense he's not the first guy I interview.
So it's got here his projected AAV. It says 1.2 to 3.3 million. You paying that for Kareem Hunt?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It says best team fits: Chiefs, Colts, Bengals, Bears. Which sounds about right.
Yeah. Right.
Javonte Williams, 25 years old. Now, Kareem Hunt, we're talking about, he is 30.
Yeah, he's done. Well,
I don't
his
really
last
want to pay
contract.
anybody who's a running back once they're 30.
Yeah, this is his last deal.
Javonte Williams, but remember he had a gnarly injury early in his career, but he is working his way back, and he was the leading rusher for the Broncos last season, 3.7 yards per carry, nothing special.
Pleasant surprise, though.
25 years old, solid guy. His projected AAV, 5.5 to 8.3 per year.
Nope.
Best team fits: Jags, Rams, Browns, Raiders. Rams have Kyron Williams, and they drafted Blake Corum. I don't think the Rams are paying $5.5 million for. No. Now this is, you talked about, like, are there any guy? Is the market changed? The one guy that's available this offseason, or I say available, he's a free agent. Who knows if he's going to be available or not? That was on their trajectory to make that kind of money was Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb 2 years ago looked like he was going to be the best running back in the world, and the thing about running back is you get hurt.
Yep.
And now Nick Chubb is 29, will probably never be what he was, unfortunately.
It feels very Todd Gurley. Very wow, and then there it went.
His first contract, you could have argued his first 5 years, he was the best running back in football.
And Gurley before him. I mean, those guys had it, and then they didn't. It was too bad. No.
It says, looks like if he's put with the right second running back or the right offensive line, Chubb could perhaps perform like a Pro Bowl running back for another season or two.
What made Chubb was not his first 5 carries, his last 5 carries.
He's wear on you.
Yeah, he doesn't get the benefit of that anymore.
No.
So what made him great was his repetition that you can't repeat. So it's a tough one.
But $3.3 to $7 million a year.
I mean, if you got a stud and you just need to fill in and you want a dude that won't make a mistake that might pop one, maybe. But there's not a lot of teams that are in that position to pay that kind of money for a backup running back.
J.K. Dobbins, number 4 on the list. He is 26.
How many teams he played for?
2.
2 now?
For Ravens, and then last year with the Chargers.
He's still got 3 more to go.
He just had the best season of his career with the Chargers, which that also tells me the Chargers are going to want to keep him. Harbaugh finds a runner who he likes, who he trusts, who doesn't fumble.
But he's got this health.
Right. So he missed all of 2021 with a torn ACL, only played 8 games in 2022, tore his Achilles in 2023, but happened to be healthy this last year. That's the time to do it.
Love him, but I think there's something in the water, and the Chargers can't seem to keep a guy healthy.
1.6 yards before contact was the 8th best in the NFL last season. Which
well, that's his line.
Yeah, but I mean,
I give that to his line. Certainly, he's got some escapability. Dobbins, I loved him when he was a Raven. I thought there was a chance, but got to stay healthy, man.
The number here, $2.3 to $3 million a year. That ain't bad for a 25-year-old running back.
But
best fits: Chargers, Rams, Steelers. I think Chargers.
Yeah,
just keep him where he is. Number 3, Najee Harris, 27 years old.
You need 3 yards, you get 3 yards. Need 5 yards, you get 3 yards.
I was shocked to see this number. The only player in the NFL in each of the last 4 years to hit 1,000 yards is Najee Harris. And that's his entire career. 4 years, 1,000 yards in every year. He's the only player in the NFL in the last 4 years to do that.
Yeah, but he was in a system that he should have had more.
Probably.
You know, he's in a system that's set up for him to ground and pound and bust a long one and do.
And it's volume is what it is.
Yeah, and
because here's the other side of that number. Oh, 1,000 yards a year. You think that sounds great. In that same 4 seasons, if you take running backs who have had at least 750 carries, he has the second worst yards per touch average at 4.3.
Yeah, there always should have been more there.
Guess who the one guy is who's had a lower average than him in the last 4 years? It's Zeke Elliott, 4.1. 4.1. Now this is where I'm like I'm out on him. Projected AAV $7 to $12 million a year.
But again,
I'd rather find a rookie.
But you're right. But I'll pay money for a guy that I can. Like I said, I need 3 yards. You can get me 3 yards. I need 7 yards. You can get me 3 yards. But I know this: he'll pick up a blitz and he won't fumble.
That's true.
And there's some value there.
Says Steelers, Browns, Raiders, Chiefs, best fits. All right. Number 2 on this list, Aaron Jones.
Love him. Love Aaron Jones. Pay him.
Aaron Jones is 30 years old, though.
I don't care. He didn't run like a 30-year-old last year. This might be his last deal. Love him.
And he averaged 5.2 yards per carry in his first 6 games. 4.1 yards per carry in the final 11 games.
Well, remember, he lost his quarterback there for a minute, and there were some issues. But, no, I love him. I think that's one of the guys that I would, if I was looking for a back, I would circle and probably pay him more than he was worth.
$6 to $8 million per year is what it says here.
Pay him.
Best fits: Vikings, Packers, Rams, Chiefs.
Notice those are all offensive teams.
Now, I promised you there was going to be a cowboy tie here. Number 1. Ahead of all those guys on this list is Rico Dowdle.
You have got to be kidding me.
Age 27. It says Bell cow running backs used to have 300 carry seasons with regularity. There were not any in 2023, 300 carry running backs. There were 6 in 2024. And that he had 331 carries since he entered the league in 2020.
Yeah.
So they're saying even though he's 27, he's not broken down.
There's still tread on his tire. I get it. But I also watched him play, and he is a good running back.
It says Dowdle's 2024 season showed he can be a team's dependable every down back, became the first running back in Cowboys history to rush for over 1,000 yards on the strength of being one of the NFL's most efficient rushers. 53.6% rushing success rate on 235 carries was the 6th best in the NFL.
I mean, you're making a great justification for keeping him. Now, let's talk AAV.
3.8 to 8.5.
Now, that low end?
That's a wide margin.
Yeah, that
though.
low end, we're talking. But no, I ain't paying him $8 million a year.
Best fits, Cowboys, Steelers, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. The fact that he's listed ahead of guys like Aaron Jones and J.K. Dobbins and Nick Chubb is like, dude, he did this one time.
And he did it behind a pretty lousy offensive line. I mean, there's some things you go.
Also consider who played quarterback for the Cowboys most of this year. There was no passing threat.
So I think there's a lot of credit to be given. I just know what a great running back looks like.
And it ain't looking like that.
And it ain't him. And that doesn't mean he's not a 10-year pro. It doesn't mean he can't be a guy that plays on teams and helps. But, man, I'm not paying him that kind of money. And you know what? I respect the guy. $4 million, we're talking. 8? No way.
I'm kind of with you on that.
And I'm still going to get somebody else. That's the thing. I need a game breaker.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine the Cowboys are in a position to pay that kind of money anyway.
They're not.
But they are. Obviously, they're going to need a running back. And you don't want to just say, we'll draft a rookie and let the rookie be the only running back.
I think you do. I honestly do think that they're not looking for success, and there's other problems. We got other issues to deal with. I don't think it'll be a rookie that carries the ball, but it won't be Dowdle. I think they'll pay somebody that, like I said, that can pick up a blitz. You need 3, he'll get 3. You need 4, he'll get 3. You know, one of those guys.
So you're saying Najee Harris would be a good fit?
You know, given the situation we find but the thing is, Najee's going to ask that kind of money, too.
He looks like the most expensive one on the list.
Given those two, I pay Dowdle because he's younger.
I would, too. No, is he younger?
Well, like we said, tread on the tires.
Yeah, tread on the tires, yeah. God, it's a bad, like compared to last year when Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry were out there, it's like this just feels wolf. But which also makes it kind of a bad time to have a guy like Rico Dowdle, who's considered one of the best in the class.
That tells me
because it's just like when I talk about I would never, ever, ever take Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Like I wouldn't take any of these quarterbacks that are available this year. I would never take any of them in the first round if I were in charge of a draft. But because of what's available, they're both going to go in the top 10. And it's like, I don't want to be a team that absolutely has to find a running back when the running back crop is terrible.
I think in my experience over time, you know a great running back when you see it. There's no question about it. You see him run, you go, that guy can do exactly what I want. They come, you get one of those every 5 years. And then you got a bunch of guys that just have to fit what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you find that, you can make him an all-pro, and if you don't, he could be out of the league in 2 years. And there's not one of those guys that I look at, whether it be a free agent or in the draft, where I go, that's a running back. All I got to do is get him, and we'll just set him free. There's not one of those guys, so I'm not going to overspend on him.
I want to hit this real quick. They did a similar list with quarterbacks, but just 5. I'm going to give you the name, and you tell me if they would be worth this kind of money. It says here, I can't imagine this is right, though. Kirk Cousins. What do you think Kirk Cousins would demand?
I think the Mendoza line right now for starting quarterback pays, about $30 million? I'm going to call it that. Maybe 35, given the new salary cap. Am I right? Do you think that's about the Mendoza line?
That's what I would have thought.
The Baker Mayfield, Mendoza success line?
That's what I would think. Their prediction is that Kirk Cousins signs a 1-year, $1.5 million deal with the Cleveland Browns.
That tells me film don't lie. There's something wrong. That leg didn't heal. His arm is soft. That is a pittance. I mean, a pittance.
Honestly, if Kirk Cousins costs $1.5 million for 1 year, the Cowboys should sign him to be their backup quarterback.
That's a
and maybe even like sign him to try and push Dak in preseason.
That tells me that there's something definitely wrong. There's a hitch in his giddy up.
Russell Wilson, they have him projected at, or his prediction is 1 year, $20 million deal with the New York Giants.
I like that. I like that for both.
Aaron Rodgers signs 1 year, $25 million with the Tennessee Titans.
Below the Mendoza. I like both those. That fits the market.
Justin Fields.
Now, this is a good question.
1 year, $15 million with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think he's going to get more than that, but that's probably about what he deserves.
Sam Darnold.
The Mendoza line is 30. I'd say 40 for Sam Darnold. 1 year, $40 million. 2 years.
3 years, $114 million.
Close.
With the Las Vegas Raiders.
Almost 40. What was that, 37?
Yep.
Yeah. That's about where he should be.
That's about what I think he'll get as well, and I think Vegas is a good spot for him. Although I do worry about.
I'd still draft Sanders. I'd draft Sanders and do the McCarthy thing.
I'd draft somebody in the second round.
Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't say Sanders, but I do still draft a quarterback and get a bridge going.
Jackson Dart or a Quinn Ewers or somebody like that.
Best dude available.
Get started on it. Yeah, I don't want Aiden O'Connell sitting behind him waiting. I don't need that. All right, let's hit a break. And Adrian Mata, the winner he's going to the Yacht Rock.
Yes, sir.
What's it called? The Yacht Rock review?
Yeah, I guarantee you, he's got at least 3 Columbia shirts in his closet right now.
Oh yeah. Do you have Columbia shirts?
I have at least. Yes, you get. I tell you, when you turn 50, they just show up in the mail. You get a gift card from Academy.
I still don't have one. I'm trying to.
Well, you're not fully here yet.
No. Yeah. Next segment, we're going to give away the tickets to the Nate Jackson Super Funny World Tour Show, June 20th at the Aztec Theater. We'll do that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning as you head out into your early morning commute on 1604 westbound Kyle Seal Parkway. Got some debris in the roadway. It's in the left lane. So about a 5-minute delay has you slow from New Gilbo. 35 southbound Randolph Boulevard, disabled vehicle off to the shoulder. And 90 eastbound 211 to 410. Traffic rolling stop and go, about a 20-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
With basketball season in full swing, make watching the game a little bit more exciting with your chance to win money with Underdog, one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas. You could win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog, playing the pick'em game where you pick higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right on your pick'em entry, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Yep, turn $1 into 1,000 with your hoops knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
We're talking during the break about Joel Embiid and, like, the idea that the Sixers are going to have to make a decision on this guy. Oh, yeah, he's always hurt. But when you have a guy like that that is so good when healthy, like, what do you do with him? Like, you don't want to let him go because
He could get better.
you don't get guys like that. Guys like that don't exist. Like, Joel Embiid, and I know this is maybe a hot take. When Joel Embiid is healthy, he is arguably the best player in the NBA, like, in the world. Like, he's as good as Jokic when he's healthy. He's just never healthy. And Zion, when Zion's on the floor and healthy, he's in that same group. Like, what do you do with those guys? Do you just give them the money and then, like, cross your fingers and hope that you get a run of health?
It's kind of like the hot girl that you meet. You want to kind of go, like, why are you available, one? And I'd kind of like to meet the dudes that you've gone through before. Because, I mean, Embiid's only been one place. He's only been in Philly.
Yeah.
But how many coaches, general managers, and players has he gone through? I mean, just think about the rubble that he's left in his wake with no success. And at some point, somebody's going to go, looks good, but it ain't good for me. And I want the Philadelphia 76ers. They've already paid him. He's going to make $70 million in 3 years.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, he will make $69 million.
So it looks like he is
let somebody else pay him.
Looking at another surgery. He has played in only 19 games this season. No. Averaging 24 points per game on a career low 44.4% shooting. 8.2 boards per game, the fewest he's averaged since his first active season in 2016-17. Which, by the way, I mean, I'm saying, like, if you give me 24 and 8 every night, that's still pretty damn good, obviously. But it's like, and then this is the first year that he's ever averaged fewer than a block per game. It's obvious that he's not healthy. Here's the question, though. If he does need a surgery, do you start to kick the tires on, we need to start looking at life after Embiid?
Well, I don't know how, unless you're going to have to pay a fair amount of this no matter what you do.
Exactly.
You're going to have to eat a fair amount of this salary. But, yes, I'm all about once you realize in sports, once you realize it's over, end it. Don't go mediocre. Don't wait for the best deal. Get the best deal you can get right now and end it. Start anew. And this process has been going for how long? We're a decade into
Yeah,
this?
getting there.
There are nights you're going to love him. The fact that Embiid hasn't won a title yet is really the difference between my opinion. I think Joel Embiid, if he'd have already won a title, would be looked at a lot like Bill Walton was, because Bill was the same way, but he got a title early before the injuries took their toll. And he got the title, but he could never stay healthy. And no matter where Walton went, when he went down the West Coast, and he finally landed in Boston as a backup, and finally could only had to play a couple of minutes, and he won himself a title and was in the ring in a position to get more, because finally he could do what he was good at, but didn't have to do it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think Embiid is probably destined to win some rings and will make a difference someplace. But I don't think he can do it in Philadelphia. I think that the amount they're going to have to pay him to keep him and the way that he plays, he's going to have to be a self-contained entity, that he comes off the bench and does Joel Embiid things and then goes and sits down. And for the next 20 minutes, you don't even see him. And I think that's finally where Embiid gets his roses and gets this credit, and it really gets to see his greatness on display, is when no one is relying on him, that he's just a bench piece.
You want to hear a wild stat? Ever since Embiid's first full season, so remember he didn't really play his rookie year.
Yeah.
Ever since he's been playing, the Sixers have outscored opponents by at least 6 points per 100 possessions when he is on the floor.
And that's why he keeps getting paid.
Incredible.
That's why he's getting $70 million.
This year, they're getting outscored by 4.7 points per 100 possessions. So he's always been 6 or better, and this year he's almost -5. First of all, he's obviously not healthy. Secondly, I think we just have to admit that he's never going to be healthy. But when you have players like him, it's really tough to move on from him.
Well, you're right.
And I gave you an example during the break. Mike Trout is hurt all the time. We've seen Mike Trout, when he plays, be better than just about anyone at baseball in the world, but he is always hurt. So what do you do with that? Do you just say, well...
You wave goodbye.
Do you?
You should. You don't, because of the capital investment. And, you as the person that has either built the team around him or signed him to the deal, you have a little bit of pride of ownership. I can't say that I've made a mistake. And I think so many general managers get caught up in the situation where I'll throw good money after bad. I'll continue doing things that are probably counter to the goodness, to the long-term benefit of my organization, just to justify my decision, just to tell everybody that the decision was right, and I'll show you if I get to do this next move. Where I think when you're dealing with Embiid, he will never be the guy that you can build around to win a title. You've tried it. It's not going to work. You've got Maxey. You went and got Paul George. You've done different things. Guys have come and gone, and it didn't work. It's never going to work. Now, I'm not saying he won't win a title, but he will be one of the final pieces. He'll never be the first piece. That time has come and gone.
Now, the scary thing is being the next team that takes a chance, because you're like, if somebody does take Embiid, it's not like he's going to suddenly not be a high-value player. You remember Grant Hill?
It feels very Grant Hill-esque.
And Grant Hill was in Detroit, let's remember Grant Hill's first time, the first few years of him in Detroit.
He's a cautionary tale for those that don't recall.
He was one of the greatest players in the world for a good stretch in Detroit, and he kept playing hurt, and eventually, like his ankle, was it his ankle or
his
knee?
Ankle. It was ankle.
Just gave out,
mm-hmm.
And then finally Detroit was like, we just got to move on from this, and the Magic gave him max deal, paid him everything
just to go sell some tickets,
and he was he was a shell, and that's what you worry about if you're the next team, is that all the tread's worn off this time.
Well, the good news, 7-footers don't need to jump.
That is true.
So 7-footers age better than wing guys who elevate and touch the top of the box. So, And he has a game that isn't vertical. You know, he's just a big dude that, he doesn't have to jump to do what he does, whether it be the three-point shooting or the rebounding or the other things that he does very well. It's not predicated on athleticism. So I think he'll age if he can just stay healthy.
You talked. We were talking about this guy the other day. You and I just randomly were talking about him. And I'm not old enough to really to have appreciated what he was. But how different is Joel Embiid from Ralph Sampson?
Oh, night and day.
Okay.
Ralph was far more like Wemby.
Okay.
Really wanted to be that.
Okay.
Not even close.
I'm just thinking of big guys who couldn't stay on.
That's why that Twin Tower idea in Houston worked, because Olajuwon was perfectly happy in the paint and Ralph didn't want to be.
Yeah. But it's you know what else? It's kind of like Yao Ming. The Rockets they stuck with Yao Ming longer than they probably should have.
Oh yeah, they
because
did. For a lot of reasons.
There's a lot of money involved with it.
The Chinese money mattered, but yeah.
But also, listen, man, Joel Embiid's a star.
No question.
So it's hard to move on from stars.
And maybe the Bill Walton is probably not nearly as good a comparison as Yao Ming.
Because what do you
seriously?
What do you do?
You keep him until you can't, but you never had to pay Yao Ming $80 million or $70 million or that big of a part of the pie. So you're going to have to eat some of that, and he'll probably end up someplace else. I just can't imagine more than one team able to pay his salary. It'll probably take, Sixers kicking in a few million and somebody else kicking in a few million, and finally he's playing for a third team, because that's crazy.
And as much as I love Tyrese Maxey, and I think Tyrese Maxey's he's going to be a star in this league, the idea that now it is going to be Tyrese Maxey's team, at least for this foreseeable future. Yeah. But Tyrese Maxey as the dude when Embiid's on the floor, the ceiling is so much lower.
It didn't work out.
Tyrese Maxey and if Joel Embiid could have ever been healthy, Tyrese Maxey could have been a guy who could take over and been a champion. I don't think Tyrese Maxey is good enough to be the best player on the team and not and have Paul George be the second best player. I don't think that works.
I don't think they had. I think they hoped that Maxey became what he has become. I don't think they thought he would.
I don't think they did either.
I think that he has remarkably overachieved.
But
he was a lottery pick. I'm not taking away from where he was and how they took him.
Yeah.
But he has turned into something special, far beyond that they expected. And I'll say this: I think it's taken away from the necessary part of Embiid's game. Maxey's capable of getting his own bucket too.
He is, but I'm saying their ceiling as a team with Maxey as their best player is
not nearly as high.
No.
Nobody's 7'3" and can do what Embiid did. But sometimes just because it looks good, it ain't good for you. And I think his time as Philly's bell cow is winding down. You just can't exist like this. And he could, very easily turn into a well-traveled cat real soon. Look at what happened to Dwight Howard. You're great until you're just a piece, and then suddenly you're bouncing from team to team and hoping to hang on.
Claymore says the Celtics finally found a way to utilize Porzingis.
Yes, they did.
As a third or fourth guy. But the problem is, and that's the other difference, is Porzingis doesn't play that big man game. Those big men, it's like you can't just pay Joel Embiid $20 million to stand under the rim for 8 minutes a game. If you're going to pay that guy, you have to almost build around someone like that.
Not anymore. Used to, you can no longer build around Embiid. Embiid is now a complementary piece to something else. His time of being built around was over the moment that they couldn't get Paul George, Maxey, and he all on the same page and all healthy at the same time. That was the plan. It ain't working. And Embiid's about to age out of this. He is not the centerpiece. He's a partial piece. He's an extra piece now. He's not the guy you build around. He's the guy that he's the helpful addition. But he ain't going to lead a team anywhere playing 40 games a year. It's just never going to happen.
Was it 23 that he won the MVP?
It wasn't that long ago. Sounds about right. 2-3 years ago. The closeout, that last 3 months of the season, he was literally unstoppable. He was 25 and 20 a night.
Well, how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, I do think the Sixers need to start planning on life without him. All right, let's do Nate Jackson, the Super Funny World Tour. We've got tickets for that. That is going to be June 20th. June 20th, wow. The Aztec Theater. Yeah, we got to give these away in advance because this is a big show, Rob. People are going to want these.
Googling this, dude.
Nate Jackson. That is, if you don't win tickets, you can get them at livenation.com. Let's go with caller number 6. Caller number 6 will win tickets to go see the Super Funny World Tour, which is the follow-up to the Funny.
Kidding.
The Funny World
His World Tour. Stockholm, Oslo, Amsterdam, Barcelona, Berlin. He ain't messing around.
So wait,
does he do his jokes in French and in Swedish and Norwegian?
There's all the are you saying that's just
these are tour stops?
And
he's in Ireland. He was in Dublin on the 19th.
What the heck?
This dude is hitting the road, man. He must be funny.
He must be.
Bringing the funny.
Good
They
for
want
him.
those Greeks in Athens. They're asking him back. Command performance to come back to Sofia. The Hungarians love him.
Is that
the
right?
Bulgarians love him.
I think we're looking at a different tour.
Nate Jackson Super Funny World Tour 2025 dates. I'm looking at him.
Weird. I'm looking at
He
it
was
too.
in Glasgow, Scotland on the 18th. He did Dublin on the 19th.
Okay, so he's done with all of the
he just finished
the
his
worlds.
Euro.
He's now going to America.
But, when you think Stockholm, Oslo, Amsterdam, Barcelona, Berlin, Sofia, Athens, Paris, London, San Antonio? Hey, man, we're big time.
No, you know what's even weirder than that? He has 5 shows booked between March 13th and 15th at Mesquite Street Pizza and Comedy Club in Corpus Christi, Texas.
He's hungry. He's taking a little beach vacation.
Doing all these wild cities on the world tour, and he's like, I'm going to do 5 shows at a pizza place in Corpus.
I'm hang in Corpus.
And then I'm going to get back to my world tour.
Because I am loved in Brighton.
What the heck? What a wild tour. Where are you going after Oslo? Oh, Corpus Christi, Texas, a pizza place. It's
makes me wonder what the Apollo Theater in Paris looks like.
That's what I'm so. And then then right after that, it's like he's going to be at the Warner Theater in Washington D.C. It's like this guy's got a wild schedule.
I don't know why we're dogging him for spending time in Corpus. It's a lovely place to spend.
I mean, it's a lovely place
to
to
why
do.
We're ripping it up.
To do one show, 5 shows at the pizza place?
It's good pizza.
It better be good pizza.
Have you been to the USS Constitution? What's the boat there?
Is
it Constitution?
Is it
No.
Lexington?
Lexington. Have you been to the Lexington?
I have been to
I
the
don't
Lexington.
think Nate Jackson is. He's going to spend a day there.
I don't.
Been Snoopy's?
I'm not here to disparage Corpus Christi, Texas, or the Mesquite Street Pizza and Comedy
Which
Club.
might be a lovely venue.
I bet it's great. All right. We've got 1 hour left to go. In the next hour, it's a Mellow Monday, so I'm going to give away a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. We'll talk some sports. We'll talk some other stuff. We'll try and make some money. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check you have gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning as you head out into your early morning commute on 1604 westbound Kyle Seal Parkway. Got some debris in the roadway. It's in the left lane. So about a 5-minute delay as you slow from New Gilbo. 35 southbound Randolph Boulevard, disabled vehicle off to the shoulder, and 90 eastbound 211 to 410. Traffic rolling stop and go, about a 20-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Tough news coming from the San Antonio Spurs as Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich is not expected to return this season. His NBA future is uncertain as he recovers from a stroke suffered in November. University of Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, considered to be one of the top 2 players at that position, will not work out at the scouting combine in Indianapolis this week. Sources confirmed to ESPN over the weekend. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4, Juventino. Did I say that right?
That's a good name.
So.
Juventino Ambris.
Juventino. I haven't heard that one before.
Congratulations. He's off to the show. Nate Jackson.
Yeah.
Yacht Rock.
Super Funny World Tour. No, he was Super Funny.
Oh, this is Super Funny World Tour.
Yeah. Not just the Kind of Funny World Tour, Super Funny, which is way better than the Kind of Funny. This hour, we're going to give away a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom on a Mellow Monday. Mellow Monday. Monday
sucks.
Unless it's a Mellow Monday, and then it's better. That makes everything a little bit better. And, boy, I'll tell you what else makes it better is the basketball game we got on tap tonight. We'll get to that in a second. I wanted to review the weekend in games in college hoops, Rob. You're fighting Aggies. It was a well-fought battle for most of the game, and then Tennessee pulled away late.
What's that guard's name?
Chaz Lanier.
Chaz Lanier. He's open.
Yeah, you might want to
guard that guy.
Might put a hand in his face.
Got 25. He's open.
I'd consider defending him.
You know, A&M is what they are. And I love me some Buzz. Buzz, you can coach at A&M for 25 years, but at some point you're going to have to win a big one. At some point you're going to have to beat a big top 10 team. You're going to just have to do it. And then by the numbers, you're getting plenty of opportunities, so it'll happen. But I think Buzz now is 1-10 against. Oh no, A&M has only beaten one top 10 team in their history, and that was like 2007.
To be fair,
no, I'm not mad at him, but at some point we need to get one. Like that win in Missouri. I said it then, and I'll still say it again. I think that's the best win Buzz has ever had
at A&M.
At A&M to go. I can only quantify that. That was a game against a team that looks a whole lot like you, that plays a whole lot like you, that you should have played like them.
A&M got a win early this season. It wasn't at Tech. It was like in Fort Worth or wherever, the Dickies Arena or whatever. That's a good win. Like, it's aged very well.
They've had a couple of those, but I'm talking about you're at home. You've got Tennessee in, an eminently beatable team. They're not overwhelming. And then you let them do something that normally they don't do. I am not mad at Buzz because this team, I've been saying, they can't shoot. They're going to beat teams because they come at you in waves and they do a lot of great things. But there's something about the way Buzz coaches basketball games that when the big times come, his best players normally don't respond, and I don't know why. That's all I'm saying. That was a valiant game against an inspired Tennessee team with a kid that just lit them up. That happens. Am I mad? No. And I think I'm probably a little bit more impressed with what Tennessee did. At least it showed me now that there's a dude on their team, if given the opportunity, can provide the shooting that can get them to the Final Four because they've got every other piece. They've got great guard play. That point guard is as good as anybody in the country.
Ziegler.
They're big and strong down low. They're capable of –
and they're all seniors.
Yes.
They're all grown.
So if they can show me they can shoot, it is no shame in losing to a Tennessee. But you let them do something that they hadn't done before, and that's what to me is so aggravating.
But I guess you need to put it into perspective that the fact is A&M's they're almost a lock to win 20 games a year now.
Like I said, Buzz, coach here 25 years, but by the numbers, because the conference has gotten better every year, and so have you. Our team has gotten better every year too, but you're treading water. You're rising with the tide, but you're not rising above the tide. And at some point, we're going to need to get a win against Florida or get a win against Auburn in College Station. I went to the game last year when Jabari, or 2 years ago, when Bama showed up, number one in the country, had a roster, and A&M was ready for bear and lost it too, the same way. So aggravating, although I am very happy with A&M basketball program. It's
the overall health of A&M basketball is
far
incredible.
Better. And I should give more love to Tennessee because Ziegler and that kid, they really played well. It was a great basketball game on there. So.
They, like you said, they do have 2 chances left to get that big win, although it ain't going to be easy. That's 2 of the best teams in the country in Auburn and Florida.
The SEC. We've never seen anything like this. I don't think there's ever been a conference in the history of basketball this freaking deep where you can literally play 4 top 10 or 3 top 10 teams, not during the season in your conference, in the same week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's never happened.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, South Carolina stinks. LSU stinks. Georgia kind of stinks.
But look at their non-conference. Georgia got a kid that's going to be drafted in the top 10 that very well could be a Spur.
Everybody else kind of OU kind of stinks, but pretty much everybody's dangerous on the right day. OU just
won.
You
got a pro. You got a pro that's going to be playing every day. Texas does too. I mean, I've never seen a conference, not ACC in their heyday. Yeah, they rolled 4 teams out that were as good as anybody. SEC's rolling 9 teams out that are top 25 worthy.
No, it's impressive. Like the fact that Texas and Ole Miss and Vanderbilt are kind of like the bottom feeding teams. Those are the bubble teams in your conference. It's like, whew.
Nobody wants to play them outside of conference.
Exactly.
You don't want to see them as an 8th seed.
No, but that was the big game on Saturday. The tough loss for A&M, but well fought. Alabama gets a 13-point win over Kentucky in what was an expected track meet, 96-83, the final there.
in that game, Kentucky actually played really well. They shot pretty well. This shows how good Bama is.
Arkansas 92-85 win against Mizzou.
That's a couple of wins that Arkansas has pulled the last
Arkansas has been fighting all of a sudden, yep. Vanderbilt got a 77-72 win at Ole Miss. No, in Nashville over Ole Miss. Yeah. And then Oklahoma also beat Mississippi State, which was kind of an unexpected thing. Outside the SEC, Clemson got a 79-69 win over SMU.
AJ,
probably knocked them out of the tournament.
Let's talk Clemson. You've turned me into a believer. This is a good basketball team. Not a great one. Not a great basketball team, but good for the ACC.
They're firmly the second best team in the ACC.
Absolutely. They're far better than I thought. They're getting better.
Duke destroyed Illinois. Illinois they've got a lot of talent, and Duke ran them off the floor. And my guy Kasparis, KJ Yakashonis, I love that player. I think he's going to be an excellent pro. So when he got hurt, his forearm or wrist, whatever that was, he's not been able to shoot since. He could have gone 11 of 11 from 3, and I think they would have lost this game. Like Duke just.
He got bodied. He's going to be a very good player, but Duke took him out early, and he never was a factor. And the side, Duke's going to have 3 lottery picks.
Yeah.
3 lottery picks. 3 of the top 12 players in this draft are going to come out of Duke.
A couple of upsets. BYU 96-95 win over Arizona.
Is that an upset?
Yes. It was in Tucson.
I know, but BYU is a good basketball team.
Yeah, Arizona was. I think they were top 10.
They're hot as fish grease.
Yeah, and to get that win, that was a big deal. South Carolina beat Texas. Speaking of upsets, oh my God, South Carolina's got 1 win in conference. It's that one. Gross, Texas.
Yeah.
Oregon. Beat Wisconsin in overtime.
That was a well-played Dana Altman basketball game.
That's a big win.
I think there was a little bit of looking past from Wisconsin.
I think so, too. And then Colorado got a win over Baylor. Baylor kind of spinning out of control without their big man on the floor. But I'd say all that to get to the Houston-Iowa State game, which was the game, arguably one of the better games of the weekend. Although Iowa State was shorthanded. Houston gets a 68-59 win in Houston at the Fertitta Center. Now...
That game was never in doubt, by the way.
No,
Houston punched them in the face.
That's a good. Oh, and I guess the other game I didn't mention because of yesterday. St. John's handled UConn. UConn sucks. I've been saying it. I stand by. UConn's not a good basketball team. But I get to that for the game tonight. Houston at Texas Tech, and I am fascinated by this game because the Houston Cougars have lost exactly 1 game since the calendar flipped to December. And that was on February 1st at home in overtime to Texas Tech. My guess is Houston has been thinking about that game.
They're going to dismantle Tech.
They are salty. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to Lubbock, which it's not an easy trip, but I got a feeling. And by the way, if Houston wins this game tonight, they basically win the Big 12. I think maybe there's like a mathematical way, but it for all intents and purposes, the Big 12 is over if Houston wins tonight. That would push them to 16-1 in conference. But so you think Houston blows them out of the gym tonight?
If I'm Tech. And I'm McCaslin, the head coach there, I am sending a film to the officials, to the Big 12, of every one of the Houston Rockets front or backcourt non-called fouls. All the hands on hips, all the nudges on, all the trying to push guys off dribbles that Houston does every play because they know that the ref can't call it all. I'm sending that. The only way Tech wins tonight, and they can do it, is if they get Houston behind the whistle. If they get Houston in some foul trouble early and can get the dogs off them. I think Tech has a chance like they did in Houston. But that's the only way they have a chance. The refs are going to have to take Houston out of the game because Tech can't.
Well, remember when these guys played the first time, JT Toppin got ejected from the game after 4 minutes. Texas Tech's best player booted out of the game because 4 minutes in.
Because Tech came in trying to roughhouse, tried to equal up, and Tech got a little overboard, and it worked. It worked. They got him out of the game. They're going to have They cannot let Houston play Houston basketball in Jones Arena. They just can't. If they let that happen, they're going to get run out, and they're going to look worse than they are because Tech's not a bad basketball team. But Houston is playing as tough a basketball. They're not as good as the top 3 teams, but they're tougher.
I am stoked for this game tonight. I think this is going to be awesome. So it's 8 o'clock tip on ESPN. If you're into such things, if you're into really good basketball games.
South Plains is going to be rocking tonight,
I think you're going to get one up on the Llano Estacado. The other games, the other national games tonight, Michigan's at Corn. Michigan is kind of the wheels are coming off for Michigan.
I like their big. That Wolf kid?
Yeah.
I think that's a guy that's going to be a first-round, late first-round draft
they've got
pick.
two. They've got the Danny Wolf, and then they've got the Russian guy, the Vladislav Golden. They've got kind of a Twin Towers thing going.
You know, it's funny. You say the wheels fell off, and as we talk about it, they just extended their coach. Dusty got a little bump.
That's because they're fighting to keep Indiana wants him. He's an Indiana guy. They don't want to let him go to Indiana. But they lost over the weekend at home to Michigan State, which is
Izzo's got him a team put together.
Can't do that. Can't do that, Michigan. That's the one thing they don't like.
They're used to it. It's Michigan State.
But yeah, we'll see. Nebraska's struggled to score all year, so we'll see if they can do anything. North Carolina at Florida State in a matchup that would have been good any other year, but is not much to watch right now. And then Kansas is at Colorado. Kansas, who talk about a team that the wheels had been falling off. I really contemplated betting Oklahoma State at Fog Allen. I was getting like a massive number. I was like, oh, it wouldn't have mattered. Oklahoma State, they beat Oklahoma State by 32 points. They let out some.
I still have lots of questions about this. I mean, Kansas just could be rounding into form, but just they look disjointed, and they don't have a stud. That's been a long time since they've had a dude that was going to go in the top 5, top 10 picks. They don't have one.
They have lost 4 straight road games outright. Like, not against the spread. I'm talking about, like, they lost the game. BYU, Utah, Kansas State, and Baylor.
Now, those teams have not continued to win.
Yeah, those aren't, like, great teams. Now you're an 8-point road favorite at Colorado.
Didn't they? And they got a good win over the weekend, right?
No, they beat Oklahoma State, the worst team in the league.
I'm talking about Colorado got a good win.
Yeah, Colorado won a game.
Look out.
Colorado never wins, and they beat Baylor.
Yeah, look out. Look out. This might be one
Colorado
to circle.
now 2-14 in conference. They're coming. We coming.
Kansas doesn't like to play anywhere but Fog, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't feel great about Kansas at all. And circle it. Is March 3rd a week from today? That sounds about right.
I was told there'd be no math.
I think that's about right. A week from today, Monday, March 3rd, Kansas at Houston. My guess is Houston pulls their pants down and spanks that ass at the Fertitta Center.
Kelvin's got there's a Jayhawk in the locker room right now.
Oh, man.
There's a loop of what's big center?
Hunter Dickinson.
Hunter's taking fadeaway jump shots.
Yep.
There's a big loop of that being showed right now.
All right, let's when we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the world. Oh, you know what? We might have to skip that segment. We didn't do losers. Vic, you're supposed to produce the show and tell us to do losers. We'll do that coming up next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning as you head out into your early morning commute on 1604 westbound Kyle Seal Parkway. Got some debris in the roadway. It's in the left lane. So about a 5-minute delay has you slow from New Gilbo. 35 southbound Randolph Boulevard, disabled vehicle onto the shoulder. And 90 eastbound 211 to 410. Traffic rolling stop and go, about a 20-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I'm on a streak here at the radio station, and it's a streak I'd rather not be on. Every time I walk into the men's room these days, it seems like somebody's in one of those stalls, and it stinks. I'm like 5 for 5, and I'm not saying mine doesn't stink, but whoever was in there just a few minutes ago...
Everybody poops, man.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Morning Huddle, 94.1. Oh, let's start by giving out the Mellow Mushroom gift card on a Mellow Monday. How about that? Mellow Mondays. Gotta love them. Listen every Monday to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz for your chance to score a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom. Let's go with caller number 10. You're going to get a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mushroom up there in the Stone Oak area around my neck of the woods. Delicious pie. Delicious. And a nice little bar set up, too. It's a good spot, the Mellow Mushroom. I'm a fan. All right. Let's do what we were supposed to do at 8:30 and talk about the losers.
You lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser.
I'm going back to a better class of losers.
with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
There we go. Rob, I'll let you take the lead on this. Who's your big loser of the week? This is where we point out people's failings over the weekend.
I'm going to throw this on Purdue.
Oh, that's a good one.
There was a blood and guts game, Purdue, Indiana, over the weekend, and it was the 40th anniversary of Bob Knight, for those who recall. In that very game 40 years ago, Bob Knight, upset at a call, grabs his chair, throws it across the basketball court, and the rest is history, thrown out. Yeah. That was really not the beginning, but it was part of those pieces that was the end of his time there at Indiana. Yesterday, they bring the chair back out. Mike Woodson sits in it, and they proceed to beat the snot out of their cross-state rival. Wow. I don't know who the bigger loser was, whether it was the chair or Purdue or Matt Painter, but somebody lost in there. I'm glad that they did what they did, but come on, Purdue. That was a game that you probably should have won, and the chair beat you yet again.
Womp,
Womp,
womp.
womp,
Womp, womp. I'll start with Anthony Rizzo, and I hate to put him in here, but it does kind of feel this way because it's like being a girl who's like, I wish that someone would dance with me, but no one wants to dance with me. Anthony Rizzo is a 14-year Major League veteran. He is a multiple-time All-Star, I think 4 or 5-time Gold Glove winner.
And I don't think he'll ever have to buy lunch in Chicago again.
I don't think so either.
He was part of history.
And he says, like, spring training games are underway, and he's like, yeah, I really want to play on a baseball team, and no one's calling me. No one wants me. The Yankees declined. He had like a big $17 million option, and the Yankees said, yeah, no thanks. And he's made $128 million in his career. He's doing okay. It's not like he's going to go broke. But when you come out and you go, yeah, I really want to play. I'm waiting on a phone call, but now all these spring training games are going, and like, I'm not getting any calls. I think this might just be it. I might be having to retire. Like,
he's kind of hamstrung because there's a league minimum he can't go beneath, right? So they have to pay him a certain dollar amount, or he can't play for him.
And then he is this is the thing. Apparently, a couple teams have offered him the league minimum, which is $760,000.
I didn't know he could take that.
Well, that's what. That's
okay. He can take that. Okay.
Well, there is a lower league minimum. But for the veteran league minimum is $760, and he says I can't do that because then I'm hurting guys down the road. I'm like, I'm hurting.
Shut up, Rizzo.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's a man with you don't want to play. As soon as I hear him say that, I'm not going to take the league minimum because I'm keeping another dude from getting paid. You don't want to play.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts.
Seriously, no, I'm thinking about the other guy. Yeah. I'm holding out for a management position.
Where are you going next?
Losers, this is a tough weekend for losers, because I didn't see anything that just kind of fell out of the, you've really embarrassed yourself. Sam Darnold is not a loser, but Sam Darnold had a losing weekend. The moment that Sam Darnold's agent found out that suddenly Stafford might be nosing around, Darnold's options suddenly are now predicated on somebody else, and that's never good.
No.
So I think while Darnold's he's got the world as he's got really good opportunity here to make a whole bunch of money and go make a difference. Suddenly he's in competition with somebody else. And I do think that if I'm Darnold or his people, I'm not happy with where I sit today because now there's a plan B for those that didn't have one on Friday when Sam Darnold was involved.
I can see that. I'll go to the UFC for my next loser. And I think it kind of is the UFC in this case because they had a really awesome event this weekend in Seattle. Every fight on the prelims was a finish. Like everybody was getting knocked out or subbed, which is always ideal. Like you want that action. And I mean, there was a buzz leading up to this big main event. And in the main event, Henry Cejudo, former champion, got poked in the eye. Sat around for 5 minutes. And then restarted the fight, and then at the end of the round came to his stool and said, I can't see. I'm seeing two of him. And they said, well, do you want the fight to end? And he said, yes.
So is that go down as a TKO?
No, because over half the fight had been completed.
Okay.
If under half the fight is completed, they would call it a no contest on an accidental eye poke. If they were to deem that the foul was intentional, it would be a disqualification. But because it was deemed unintentional, after half the rounds are fought, you go to the scorecards, and they decide there. So after the fans were booing because Henry Cejudo took his full 5-minute allotment, and the fans were like, what the hell? So then they restart the fight. There was only like a minute left in the round. He finishes that 1 minute, and then he says he wants out, and they call off the fight. And then they go to the scorecards, and Henry Cejudo loses. And it's like,
that sucks.
Well,
oh man, what rematch?
I don't. They asked Dana White after in the press conference. They were like, "Is there going to be a rematch booked?" And Dana White said, "No." He's like, "Do you want to see it again?" No, nobody wants to see it again. If he was like, if Henry wanted to keep fighting, he would have fought. And so he's like, "That's it."
It's good to be the king,
but it sucked that that whole event was great. There's all these great finishes, great knockouts. And then
he was like, I freaking won?
Yeah.
He was getting changed in the shower. I won?
Yeah.
Let's see. The NFL is admitting defeat, it appears.
That doesn't happen.
Well, if we're not necessarily losers, but maybe we're losers because we had to sit through at least 1 year of this bad kickoff thing. It appears that today, or at least over this next week as the governors gather, that the NFL is going to try to fix the onside kick rule.
Oh, I'm for this.
That looks like they'll as quickly as possible, they'll implement either in the last 2 minutes. I think if in the fourth quarter you're down by 14 or more, you should be able to invoke this.
Wasn't part of that like the element of surprise? Isn't
Well,
that
kind
right?
of. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. But on the other side of that, 4th and 15 from your 35, you complete it, you get to carry on. At least you give yourself a better opportunity than this silly thing. So as far as losers, I think the losers are us who had to sit through this year of teams not quite trying to figure out how to do this. And then at the same time juxtaposing that with college football who's still doing it the old way, that's so much more fun. At least they might have found a fix for at least late game antics. So I think we had to lose by sitting and watching this, and maybe we'll get it fixed with a 4th and 15 from the 35.
I'm for that. Former All-Pro receiver Steve Smith Sr. had a rough weekend. A man named Tony Martinez found out that Steve Smith Sr. was banging his wife. Now, Steve Smith, obviously a former Baltimore Raven, now an NFL Network analyst, who is also married and has 4 kids, was banging Martinez's wife, and which, by the way, I never think this is a good idea. Like, if you find out someone's banging your wife, I generally don't think the best idea is to put all of her business and your business out on Twitter for everyone to see.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like, he tagged everybody in it. He tagged Antonio Brown. He tagged the Panthers. He tagged the Ravens. He tagged ESPN, TMZ, NFL Network. He even tagged TaylorMade Golf and Yeti Coolers.
Anybody with sponsor money, I bet he looked at all of his sponsors. Anybody he's endorsing.
Yep.
The money is gone.
And he posted all these filthy messages, and Tony's wife a freak, by the way. She's but either way, Tony's wife also works for the Ravens as a marching band member. What? Yeah.
That's how they met.
Yeah.
She was I don't know what instrument she plays, but
Probably the flute.
She played for the marching band, which would have been the organization I would have thought he had been. I thought it'd been the cheerleaders, but no.
Now,
she plays tuba.
Now, because he found these messages, he had Steve Smith's phone number, and he also posted a call that he made to Steve Smith. He gets him on speakerphone, and he says,
"Hey, man."
He says, "Steve Smith," and Steve goes, "Yep," and he goes, "Hey, you're effing my wife." And then it's just
You're
silence.
gonna have to be more precise.
There's silence, and then he goes, "What do you have to say for yourself?" And then he's quiet for a second, then he goes, "Sorry."
He was trying to figure out which husband was calling. Oops.
Yeah, witch husband.
Whoops.
Who are you again?
Yeah. Steve Smith, but he got married in college. He's had the same wife since 2000.
I think she's an understanding woman. I don't think this is the first time this has come up.
Okay.
You get the sense.
Okay. Now, all of this has since been deleted off the internet, but as we know, the internet.
It's never deleted.
Yeah, it's there. But I would say Steve Smith, this was not on his bingo card for him to wake up and have TaylorMade golf and Yeti coolers and find out that he was banging this guy's wife.
TaylorMade's like, man, we had Tiger, man. Bring me something that's interesting. We had Tiger Woods, man. Oh, no, he wasn't TaylorMade, was he?
No, he was Nike.
Bring me something interesting. We had Tiger banging waitresses in the back of a Friendlies. This is just an extramarital affair. Poor yawn.
All
right.
right.
To be concerned about this?
Let's hit our last break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show the way we always do. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Right now, during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. I feel comfortable Wemby's going to get a couple of blocks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks, go run your game. No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over those beautiful icy balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu that's second to none. And Twin Peaks hand-stretched flatbreads, oh, they're coming out hot. Close out your night with our favorite flatbreads. They're available during the late night hours, Sunday through Thursday for only $8. That's only from your favorite lodge, Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new Gold Standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, wrapping up the show. Yeah, B. Hannon says Shannon Sharp is on his side. Shannon Sharp said that, I don't know, I just saw Shannon Sharp sides with Steve Smith. It's like,
of course.
Of course.
What's that? What's it? Sparks? What's the pill that?
His boner pills.
His boner pills.
RO?
Steve Smith will be pushing that stuff next week.
Yeah, he will. That's
Steve Smith, you need a sponsorship? Yeah, I got an endorsement for you.
I got something to play
That
right up your alley.
That's the red pill that works. It does work.
Yeah.
He said Smitty owes you no loyalty. I don't like. This is he said I don't know the gentleman's name, but this is a situation you got to take up with your wife. Like acting like the dude who knows she's married. There's no.
Oh, come on, Shannon.
I feel like everybody's little
wrong here. What are
in
you
the wrong
talking about,
here,
brother? What do you? So, if you're in the room with my wife, I have to watch you every second, brother. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Come on, Shannon. Then guess what?
Yeah, I ain't coming over.
You ain't coming to my house.
No.
It's his. It's my fault, dude. Chill.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up the way we always do. The way that Steve Smith probably didn't wrap it up. In fact, he admitted as much in those text messages. He does not wrap it up. He's raw dogger. But let's do it that way. It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Let's start in the Association of National Basketball Games.
Did you call him a raw dogger?
Kind of is a raw dogger. I mean, he did talk about he's talking about the mess he's trying to make with her. It's like, damn, man, that's vile.
What?
That's a man's wife.
I want you to put on my new brand, Raw Dogger. It doesn't even feel like you got anything on.
The Nuggies are at Indiana. Nuggets -5 at the Pacers.
I watched over the weekend on Netflix. They had the Courts of Gold as they showed the whole Paris Olympics. And, they highlighted all the stars. And the highlights, I just can't get over watching Joker play.
Yeah.
I watched just his highlights from just the Olympics, and you go, I don't know how anybody beats this guy.
What's funny is it's funny you say that because when I watch him, I'm like, I don't know how he's good at basketball.
Oh, until
it's a fascinating. He really is like a fascinating watch because he's so great, but it's also you look at him and you go like, this guy shouldn't be what he is.
And you know what?
Luka's kind of the same way.
I think there's a lot of it, and you don't expect the utter masterful greatness that he showed. And I get it; it was highlights and it's Olympics. But after watching that over the weekend, I don't know how I could pick against him because my God, he is good.
Well, 5-point road favorites, enough to at least keep me away. Bulls catching 4.5 at Philly. I can't imagine betting on Philly right now.
Or the Bulls.
No, but laying points with the Sixers just feels like impossible right now. The Nets are 3-point road favorites. That can only mean they're playing the Wizards, and they are at Washington. You you know what? Don't bet this game. Don't watch this game. Just pretend these teams don't exist.
Well,
That's the best way to go through
the
life.
Wizards and the Pelicans are now in full Cooper flag. If either one of them wins one game, for the rest of the year, the Pelicans got their one last night. So I like the Wizards to collapse at every opportunity.
Well, here's a good one because we saw this team recently. The L.A. Clippers are at the Detroit Pistons. So in Detroit, Clippers minus 2.5 on the road.
I like the Clips more than 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean not Clips. I
like the Pistons.
The Pistons. What do they won? 5 straight. They granted the last 2 are at San Antonio and Atlanta, but that's a team that they're really, really average good. They're not, every time I told AJ, and I'll say it again, every sub it's another number 5 pick keeps coming in. It's a pretty impressive roster, and they need to win. I mean, they got no need to lose.
How about the Heat -1 at Atlanta?
Oh. Atlanta has no need to do anything.
Atlanta feels like, man, they are spiraling.
Feels like
it. Rematch from last night's game. Timberwolves at the Thunder. The OKC Thunder are 12-point favorites.
There's obviously trouble afoot in Minneapolis. I can't get it. I don't understand. And it might be as much that OKC is just taking names right now more than anything else. But think about that line. If you'd have told me, at the beginning of the season, at the end of February, Minneapolis or Minnesota won't even be considered in the same
tier.
Yeah, I just didn't see this coming.
But also, we saw OKC and Minnesota play last night, and it was a relatively competitive game all the way through. OKC won by 7. Of course, that was in Minnesota.
See, that, to me, is a shock. And it's not that OKC isn't that good. I think we saw that coming. But I really thought, given last year and given the moves that they made to kind of clear some of the problems up, Karl Anthony Towns wasn't the problem. He seems to have been the answer.
Let me see what the line was on that game yesterday, because I want to see what they're valuing home court at here. So last night, when OKC and Minnesota played, it was OKC -9.
That still is a ridiculous number.
That is for a road team.
Yeah.
And then tonight it's -12. So that actually tracks, but I don't know, man. It just feels like a lot. That game was tied with like 6 minutes left. Now I'm laying 12 points. I kind of want to back the Timberwolves. I just don't. That doesn't seem right to me. But crazier things have happened, I suppose. Portland is at the Jazz. Can I interest you in laying 5.5 points with the Trailblazers on the road?
Yes, you could. I won't do it, but you could, because again, the Jazz ain't nowhere to go but down with these boys.
That's wild. Blazers -5.5 on the road. I think they'd have to be playing like the Monstars from Space Jam to have to lay that number on the road. Sacramento, 11-point home favorites against the Hornets.
Very quietly plugging away. Sacramento's putting something together. Not loud, just very quietly doing what needs to be done.
Fighting the good fight are the Sacramento Kings. In college hoops tonight, mentioned Michigan and Nebraska. It's corn. It's got the juice. Michigan -1.5 on the road at the Palace of Corn, the pinnacle of corn.
Like I said, I like their 2 bigs. The Michigan might be doing something here next couple of weeks. I don't think they're great, but those guys are enough.
I think that Michigan is going to have a bunch of wins at the end of the season,
and then
they're going to be a 4 seed, and they are going to lose maybe in the first round.
Yeah.
Houston is at Texas Tech. Houston, a 1.5-point road favorite at Tech. This is going to be a great game.
Take Houston the points and go make some money.
I'm taking Cougs as well.
Yes.
I think the Cougs get the job done. And Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Kansas -6.5 at Colorado. Kansas has lost 4 straight on the road. Colorado stinks, though.
They coming off a win, though.
Well, that's even all the more reason to.
What is Kansas just doesn't seem to know what to do if they're not playing in Fog Island. I mean, they hit the road and they're terrible.
They are a mess right now. So
Colorado's god awful too. I'm not touching that.
That's it. Colorado is dreadful.
This, follow this, and for the rest of this season, as we talk Spurs and the NBA, a subcurrent has to be, as the news hit, that Pop isn't coming back this year, and we'll question future years later, but we also have to talk about the future of the Spurs. And this is an interesting time for Bill Self, who I thought was a high-end candidate for the Spurs, a couple years back, and remains so because of his connection to Kansas. This is the first time Bill Self has really faced adversity there. And I think that not only is there the opportunity to go pro, but there's the opportunity to go to North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see
it might be time for him to jump ship somewhere else.
Yeah, to see what happens to Kansas over the next couple of weeks and the forces that are at play from without about where he might end up. Because I'm not sure Kansas would be happy that he's gone, but this will be the first time in a decade where Kansas wouldn't be upset if they were looking someplace else.
I think so, too. 2 games in the NHL tonight. The Sharks are at the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg minus 485 to beat the Sharks.
Okay.
The Sharks are the worst team.
Is there a hot goalie involved in this?
The Sharks are like they're the Utah Jazz of hockey. Like they're and what's funny is they got the number 1 pick last year.
Uh-huh.
And he's playing like a rookie.
Who's the kid?
His name is Celebrini.
Yeah, I remember
is his last name. But the Sharks they're just so far away from being a competitive hockey team. And then the Vegas Golden Knights are at the LA Kings. LA minus 115, VGK minus 105. So Kings a slight favorite at
Coming
home
off a win
against Vegas. LA's tough, but I kind of like Vegas as a dog. I don't know if I got a plus number, I'd probably back the Knights, but I'll probably sit this one out. And I got to see if it's going to line up with the basketball game. I don't want to watch the hockey game if I'm committed to that Houston basketball game. And I think that's going to be my priority watch tonight. Tina Garcia is our Mellow Mushroom winner. Congratulations, Tina. She's going to go eat that delicious, delicious pizza from Mellow Mushroom. There you go, though. That is your look at the daily lines.
F1's kicking into gear this week.
You like that?
I do. I mean, we're getting to see the cars. The drivers are all being unveiled and all the new engineering and stuff like that. It's a cool week for what has become the 3rd largest sport in the world.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, sport of kings, but got a big year. Hamilton gone, going to be driving a red car, not going to be in a Mercedes anymore. McLaren's got him a vehicle, and we're not sure if they got the drivers to drive the vehicle they've got. You've got is it Verstappen just about done there at Red Bull? Has the world caught up to him?
What about Tony Stewart?
He killed a man riding in remember?
I thought it was an F1 car.
No, Tony didn't. It was
like on a dirt track.
Yeah, on some dirt track in Indiana. So Tony Stewart was my driver when we had to pick him back in the day until he killed that dude. But
you were out on him after that? It was an accident.
So he says. Yeah. So he says, but that guy's family's still chasing him.
The NCAA champion odds, the current odds. Your favorite to be the champion
in basketball?
Yeah.
Right now, I still believe Florida. Right now, although Duke almost convinced me last night.
Florida's your 4th favorite, plus 850. I think there's a good number there. Duke, your 2nd favorite, plus 370. Your favorite, the Auburn Tigers, plus 360. So them and Duke are basically a coin flip. Houston, 8-1. Alabama, 12-1.
Like that.
Tennessee, 16-1. Iowa State, 18-1. St. John's, Mizzou, Wisconsin, and Texas A&M, all 30-1.
Can I wrap those and get some kind of deal out of that?
Like if you say the winner comes from that group,
because there might be a Final Four team in those 4.
Very well could be. There might be one out of this 35-1 group too. Michigan State, Arizona, Texas Tech, all 35-1. The aforementioned Kansas, 60-1.
No, that's friendly numbers.
Gonzaga, 60-1. Clemson, who you just told me you liked, 60-1.
I tell you what, they're going to make hay in the tournament, and they're going to probably be lower seeded than they deserve and be mad about it when this thing gets started and beat you.
Here's some of the value plays. Creighton is 75-1. St. Mary's 80-1. Illinois 80-1. Illinois was like the 3rd or 4th favorite at one point this year.
And probably is going to surprise folks, but Saturday night did them no favors.
No. The UConn Huskies, 80-1. to win the national title.
Yeah, but, the DNA of a champion, it's still there.
They've got nobody that plays defense.
They don't, and they're wearing a target, and they're young and they're old at the same time, but their old dudes ain't good enough, and their young guys don't got enough yet. They're not cooked. I wouldn't bet against them in any close game, but, yeah, I think Hurley also probably needs a little bit of an adjustment. I think he's had too long of a year.
My favorite value on the board, although I saw a stat this weekend that really turned me off from them. I really liked New Mexico at 150 to 1. And then I saw New Mexico hasn't made the second weekend of the tournament since 1960-something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, my God. They've had some really good teams, and they just never do it. So I'm passing on that number, even though 150 to 1. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, it's better than betting the Pelicans to win the NBA title, I suppose, but 3,000 to 1.
Well, that New Mexico team a couple years ago that Steve Alford had put together, there were some. I'm surprised they went out that early. I didn't realize that was
every year they lose on the first weekend. So not that easy to make it there. Claymore says Kelvin Sampson at his age and leaving to the NBA. I agree with that. I think Kelvin Sampson's going to coach until he doesn't want to coach anymore, and then his son's going to take over that program. I think that's why he's set it up the way he has at Houston. He wants to get his son a good job.
Where did the rumor – is there a rumor about this?
No, I think they were talking about it on the Brigade Bar.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's a college coach. His style – first of all, NBA players ain't going to want to play that style, nor do they want to do what's required to play that style.
But he does talk about Dan Hurley turning down the Lakers. That may have been a misstep in hindsight. That may have been a mistake.
Maybe. I get the flirtation. Danny Hurley can coach his ass off.
Yeah.
Let's not take anything. I just think this has been a long couple of years that, he probably focused a little bit on some things he probably shouldn't have focused on.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give him a pass because think about what he has managed to do over the last 4 years. Just he lost a couple of guys in Steph Castle and Klingon that, those guys are pretty good. It's hard to continue when you lose guys like the rookie of the year and maybe the third place rookie of the year guy. So
I mean, they were two of the top 5 players in college basketball last year.
I'm not mad. And now if it goes for 3 years, then we'll discuss.
No, he'll be fine. He'll get guys to replace him, but it's been a frustrating year for him. And the worst part of it is Dan Hurley is a guy who, when he's having a frustrating year, game, 5-minute span, he will lay on the ground and kick his feet like a giant baby.
He does. He wears it.
That's what I hate about him is he's he will literally lay on the ground and throw his jacket, and he's one of those coaches. I don't like that kind of coaching. I just think it's small town.
If you get a minute, and this is kind of peripheral viewing, but HBO Max is showing the story of the Dream Team select team that beat the Dream Team. His brother Bobby Hurley tells some good stories about.
Okay. Who can afford HBO Max these days? I can't even get eggs, Vic.
I know. I don't have it.
Rob's a rich.
Your priorities are way out of
Rob's
whack.
a rich. All right.
I'll wait for Game of Thrones.
We'll be back tomorrow at 6. Blitz. Jason Minix makes his return. The prodigal son back at 2. We'll see you tomorrow, boys and gals.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning